All right, what's up, gamers? We're talking about TIFF 2025. We both watched a whole ton of movies. Basically, we're going to go through them in sequence in order of my least favorite to my most favorite, which is different than your ordering, but you can chime in with your own opinions and takes and stuff. And then we both also reviewed all of these movies on Letterboxd. My Letterboxd is Keatsta, same as the channel, and yours is Just for Laughs. Gags. Just for Laughs Gags.
Like the great television program
Oh, man.
of yesteryear.
It's crazy that there's people out there that don't know about Just for Laughs Gags.
Yeah, because they're fucking Amerifats.
Yeah, dude, Americans kind of don't deserve Just for Laughs Gags. Anyways, yeah, we saw a lot of movies. They're all very good. Yeah. Well, not all, but it was a good experience.
Most of them were good. Or at least, like, fine.
We'll start with the worst one, for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, too, I kept thinking about this quote from Yi.
Yes.
We live 3 times as long since man invented movies. How long, subjectively, did TIFF feel like to you?
I don't know, it's hard to say.
For me, I think it did feel like a month. Like 11 days became a month.
I don't know. It felt like long and short at the same time. It was like we were very busy the whole time. Even in between movies, we were like seeing people and doing stuff and whatever.
Yeah. It coincided with some friend visits and stuff to the city.
Yeah, we had like a very packed schedule, but I think ultimately, like, I don't know, the actual act of like watching all the movies and stuff didn't feel that long. I feel like the previous year I was struggling way more with I don't know, the length of the festival and feeling kind of burnt out and by the end and all that stuff. Whereas this year I didn't really get that sensation. I didn't even really feel like I hit a wall at any point. And most of the time, like I guess I just experienced like time dilation, like I was on fucking ayahuasca or something. And, like hours felt like seconds or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like both at the same time for me.
Like I only really noticed the length that I had been gone once I got back home, and it was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen my dog in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. For me, it's like, the movies started feeling short. Like, we'd go watch like an hour and a half movie, and it would be like, oh, that was nothing. Like, it's over as soon as it starts. But then, like, day to day, for me at least, it felt like, I feel like I have always been going to TIFF. Like, it felt like being on vacation or something where it was like really hard to imagine or remember when we weren't just seeing movies all day, every day.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, as a little preamble, I've prepared a summary. So every year before the movie starts, they play a set of commercials and stuff. It's the same set pretty much every time. And this leads to a lot of like memeing and discussion because you end up seeing this like 20 times. So this year we had the land acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Same as every year, except now by Cameron Bailey, TIFF CEO.
Well, it's been like that. Like, he was the one who instated land acknowledgements as part of the...
Was it always his narration, though?
Yeah, it's always been his voice.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they changed the voice.
No, it's always been his voice.
What the hell? Oh, that's weird.
Like, because of... I mean, I don't know if we'll get into this naturally because of the movies we saw. I guess maybe because we saw Palestine 36. We'll talk about it in a bit. But because of his... undying dedication to the state of Israel, the land acknowledgement suddenly feels like some of the most cynical shit in history.
Yeah, it's like deeply, deeply hypocritical. I don't know, and I think I talked about this last year because I did a similar thing in my TIFF video last year. But I'm not like against land acknowledgements or anything. It does really seem like the ultimate in immaterial liberalism, though. Where it's like
absolutely.
Magic words you say instead of like doing something for Aboriginal communities.
Yeah, I mean,
you just say the magic words.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back, hundreds of years of oppression and colonization. But I mean, recent Canadian history, you saw it with fucking the way the Trudeau government handled the like, we're sorry about residential schools immediately into like, we have uncovered several mass graves of dead children.
And we are going to do nothing
and
about
we're gonna
fresh water supply.
Try to avoid like any responsibility for that.
Infrastructure issues.
Or apologizing for that even, or to do anything materially for people who live on reserves, which is already like, the concept of a reservation is like so fucking evil.
Oh man, and it is crazy that they were just like, we apologize for all of the things that we cannot really be held legally responsible for.
Yeah.
Because if they acknowledged that a whole bunch of children just straight up fucking died in those schools through, neglect or worse, they'd actually probably still be open for some sort of legal liability, like some sort of restitution payment or something.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. Because that actually makes a material difference. Even though it's like a drop in the bucket compared to the federal government budget. And they could easily do it if they wanted to. They just can't have that. It's got to be magic words or nothing.
We had to spend all our money on upping the military.
Of course. Well, this is quite a tangent. We're getting into...
Fuck Justin.
Yeah. All right. Next was the Making Movies is Hard RBC ad.
Yeah, these are cute.
I think these are cute.
These are fine.
It's a little hypocritical for them to be like, we're all about the challenges of making movies, and even though it's a hassle, we like to fund it. But then to just keep using the same one year after year?
Yeah.
That feels a little silly to me, but whatever. It's a cute one. They just show all sorts of little excerpts of movies getting made behind the scenes.
This is only the second year they've been using it, so...
I suppose so, yeah. Maybe they'll mix it up.
Yeah.
We'll see next year. Then the Varda ad where everybody claps.
Yeah, this and the land acknowledgement, I think both play before regular TIFF movies as well.
Yeah. We see this one a lot.
Stuff,
yeah. The Rogers ad, everyone hated these.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about this during the festival.
A lot.
So the action movie one didn't get introduced until way later on in the festival and feels like far more kind and a little more like we're all in on the joke together. But the Christmas one and the slasher one are both just like person in a tropey situation on a movie set starts having a fucking meltdown at the other actor. And it is just like, are you pretentious asshole or like hapless retard?
Yeah, it's like really hostile because the joke is like, oh, TIFF is sort of elevated cinema. It's not your run-of-the-mill slop. You're going to see foreign film and things here. They've always had an ad that kind of like plays on that.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself can be done well. But in this way, it really is just like, yeah, you're too good for those stupid movies. Not like those zombies. But it's like making fun of that too. Like, it really is just making fun of both characters.
It's just a really weird like attack.
It's so strange.
Like the one thing I like about this ad is that no one figured out how to make a meme out of it or anything.
Yes.
There was no like, call and response or any sort of like, everyone was just like taken hostage by it.
Silence of, why are you depicting us like this?
Yeah, well, because like they did a similar idea of ad last year, but it was just like,
oh, that everyone's a critic.
Yeah,
I like that like, a lot more.
It was very charming as an idea of just like,
it's like everybody gets super into movies.
Everyone's super into movies. It's like a taxi driver saying shit, and like a waitress, and like just people you encounter, like service workers, and like the everyman.
Yeah, which again is like a little insulting because it's like, haha, imagine if this lame brain could have figured out a art movie.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
I don't think that's what it was saying at all.
I think it's a little bit like that.
I think it's just saying like there's people like this everywhere. And wouldn't it be funny if your waitress suddenly just started talking to like her whole joke was just like,
you seen that Chanel Anchorman?
It reminds me of really Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot kinder. It's not, you're not disencouraged from aligning yourself with the characters.
Well, it's predicated on enthusiasm, even if sometimes that enthusiasm can come off kind of embarrassing. Whereas this one is predicated on, you are smarter than this other person. you are in a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is stupid. We do this all the time. And the guy who's acting is like, what? But we're getting paid to do this. And she's like, where's the ambiguity? Like Brad or Early Boundback.
Oh, it's
like,
so lame.
You should like kill someone on a Hallmark set for saying that, man. They'll execute you.
It really is just like all the characters are miserable. Like that's
because then
it's
it,
just
like,
so strange to me.
I don't know. Did you list separately like the reprisal?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can talk about that then. I guess.
Yeah. I think I might have put it next. Oh, I don't. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Well, whatever.
Well, there's a break in the ads between that. And
Yeah. Maybe I put it in order. I can't remember. But yeah, bad ad. Very annoying and disappointing.
Yeah.
The Intrepid travel ad was fun. I did think it was interesting that it kind of implies, like... Because the premise is, like, see the world at TIFF. Experience it with Intrepid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if I don't want to go there and I just want to watch a movie? Am I lesser than? But at this point, I'm probably just, like, trying to be offended.
Yes. Also, okay, one more thing I want to bring up the fucking Rogers ad.
Sure.
Specifically the slasher one.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, some fucking guy with a receding hairline and a mask chasing someone up the stairs and being like, don't you think this is too prototypical?
Oh, you're hiding in the closet? That's cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say actually that part of it at the end, him going to the closet, was actually like great delivery.
Yeah, the performances in these ads I think are actually pretty good.
They're very committed.
What almost makes it more frustrating
Yeah.
is that the actual performers, I think, do a good job. But anyways, yeah, what were you going to say?
Because it's all like they name drop stuff.
Yeah, it's big on name drops.
To get along, to get the idea of like...
These are pretentious dickheads.
These are people who are like entrenched in the idea of film. So
yeah. In
the Christmas one, it's Brea and Early Boundback. In the action movie one, he talks about like South Korean cinema and Almodovar.
Yeah.
And then in the slasher movie, the name drops are so nonsensical.
Yeah. He says,
Dreams of owning a bicycle. David Cronenberg. Romanian New Wave, Sarah Pauli, and it's like
where the
massive sneak putting Sarah Pauli in here, number one.
Are we so desperate for Canadian directors? I also feel like Cronenberg, I think I complained about this during the festival too. Cronenberg is not like above genre film.
Yeah,
like,
his whole thing is genre film. He makes
genre film. Like he hasn't made a slasher per se, but he's made horror thrillers. Like
I mean, like Scanners is
I guess Scanners is basically a slasher kind of.
I mean, I don't know if it's basically a slasher, but it's like it's more adjacent to that sort of genre in terms of just like murder and spectacle.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, TIFF is full of murder and spectacle too. They have a whole separate program for it.
Yeah.
And they program that stuff throughout the rest of the festival. Like
and they were playing specifically the slasher ad before those movies because it was like playing to the midnight audience.
Yeah. Anyway, Intrepid Travel.
Yeah.
I did like for Intrepid Travel, their sponsorship, they did like a Willy Wonka type thing.
Oh yeah, before every Midnight Madness thing, Peter Kaplowski would be like, "Look under your seats. Some of you have coupons for like $200 off your next flight with Intrepid."
Yeah. Which, like, whatever. I'm probably never going to use their services either way, but it's neat.
I mean, if you get the discount, then I guess it's
maybe.
like, well, you can't afford not to.
Can't afford not to.
Okay.
Other terrible ad.
No, okay. It's not like a great ad or anything. But, like, this is another one where it's, like, so hostile that no one was able to make a joke out of it.
That's true. But so the premise of this ad is it shows two volunteers.
Two beautiful POC.
Clap for that. One of them realizes that it's TIFF's 50th anniversary and starts trying to make the phrase "Tifty" happen.
Yeah.
And most of the ad is her just saying "Tifty" a bunch, and the coworker the co-volunteer getting more and more exasperated before he finally calls her out.
Yeah.
But then a celebrity comes by and says "Tifty," and she's redeemed.
Yeah.
But it's a celebrity.
The best part of the ad. She said Tifty like 40 times. In a bunch of, she's like, "Oh, we're Tifty feet up. I'm having a great Tifty, whatever."
Yeah.
And then
all
he's
these
like,
little montage.
her like catty, mean gay coworker is like, "Melissa, stop trying to make Tifty happen. It is not going to happen." And she's like,
Mean Girls reference.
she's like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And then just the torso of a guy in a suit walks into frame.
Because they didn't get a real celebrity.
They couldn't get a real celebrity.
I don't know if they even tried.
And,
but...
they had to subtitle the whole ad to make this work. They had to put hard-code subtitles in the whole ad for you to understand this. This guy in a suit walks up. They're like, "Sir, you dropped your notebook." And then they both like step back. They like recognize, and it just says "celebrity" on the subtitles. Thanks. And here's to another Tifty.
It's so pathetic. And the worst part is, because you're right, there was no like memes. If they were trying to make Tifty a meme, it didn't work. Thank God.
Yeah.
But because it is the volunteers ad, you have to clap. Because you got to clap for the volunteers.
Volunteers were very
But
hard.
it feels like you're clapping for like the fake celebrity. It's like, it feels gross. I don't know. The past volunteer ads, sometimes they're really corny, but at least they showed people like volunteering, you know? And not just like another very hostile ad where it's like, "Are you this annoying woman or this like mean gay man?" Which one of the two are you?
Are you like too whimsical or not whimsical enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You
It's
just
like,
can't show like happy people in these ads, man.
well, like the first year we went, it was the fucking like military call to action volunteers ad.
The pledge.
The pledge, which
Yeah.
everyone would like stand up and salute at the screen for.
That
which
was annoying.
Very annoying.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember. I think they just used that one again.
No, the
after.
next year was like a kind of training montage shtick.
That was last year.
Yeah. We've only been 3 years.
This is the 4th year we've gone.
2022.
2023, 2024, 2025.
What was the year in between?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you. And you
Well, maybe
you had no idea where you are in space.
We've been 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're probably over 100 movies then at TIFF.
Yeah, easily.
Well, actually, no. We're probably just under.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, but anyways.
Specifically the festival.
Yeah, specifically the festival.
I thought you meant
I mean,
like overall.
No,
like,
yeah,
Lightbox.
no,
I was
yeah,
like,
not a
wait,
Lightbox. Yeah, Lightbox in general we're way past. Anyways, because that was another thing I was thinking about, is I want to do my top 100 movies I've seen at TIFF.
Okay.
But that's another thing. We'll get ahead of
Give it
ourselves.
another year or two.
Yeah, I don't remember what that other year was. I think they probably did reuse the pledge.
I think they might reuse the pledge ad, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then, yeah, there's
Last
like the Eye of the
year was
Tiger.
like the Eye of the Tiger style training montage, which was charming.
I like that
don't
one.
remember
Yeah.
there really being any joke to it that the audience glommed onto.
It was just cute.
Yeah.
And it shows them volunteering.
Yeah.
It shows, like, what they're doing for the festival, so you feel excited to cheer for them and stuff. But yeah, not a fan of this ad.
The weirdest one was her saying Tifty on the toilet.
Yeah, who's she talking to?
Yeah. She's just so into
Weird.
saying Tifty. She's like shitting and she's like, "Oh, Tifty."
Tifty! What was next? Oh, the
The
Chrissy
Chrissy
ads. They've been using this for years. It's cute.
Yeah.
Kid playing with a toy, and then he sees the movie, and he's like, "Wow!"
Yeah.
Everybody shouts, "We love you, Christy!"
For like a fucking light bulb manufacturer. Like I don't get what Christie is.
I think they
Make
are
projectors.
the projector equipment company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever. It's just there for completeness.
Yeah.
There's a movie ad that played only sometimes.
I think that only played ahead of the classics.
Yeah.
Because the
movie
classics
was
selection
sponsoring.
was sponsored by Movie.
Yeah. This was a fun one. Just shows a bunch of different classic movie clips.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's similar to like the Cinematech B-roll.
Yeah. Which I always enjoy. That always gets me pumped for the movie.
With the Vivaldi over it.
Yeah. What else?
Oh,
This one.
I liked this one.
This one's kind of cute.
This one's funny.
Very
Just,
inoffensive.
Like, woman pretending she's a celebrity because she gets extra benefits from her Visa credit card.
Yeah. Although, I will say, I don't think this was made for a Canadian audience, despite it running at TIFF. Because she sends her credit card off with the check, and then they bring it back, and she's meant to sign for it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the thing where she signs. We don't do that in Canada. They bring the thing over to you, and then you just tap it, or do the pin, or whatever.
Yeah.
Signing for your credit cards, you'll only do that in the States. So I was kind of like, where's our CanCon, folks? You can't make a new ad for TIFF.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's fun.
It's fine. I never
never-
trust a man who orders risotto.
Yeah, that line stuck in my head. What does it mean?
I think it's just like, this woman is absurd is the whole bit. Because her friend is just spending the whole time being like, yeah, so true.
What else?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Did I get even close?
Oh, you fucked it up so bad.
Well, what is George Stroumboulopoulos?
Yeah.
It's George Strombolop. Oh, fuck. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he's got some new TV show. They would occasionally show an ad for it.
Yeah.
Looks fun. I don't know.
It's George Stroumboulopoulos.
CanCon.
This is going to date this video a bit, but I saw a picture of him on Twitter today with Jane Goodall that he posted as like a rest in peace thing.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jane Goodall.
But he looks so fucked up in it.
Oh, no.
He looks like he just smoked like a shitload of weed, and then someone told you gotta get a pic with Jane Goodall. Like, his eyes look super red. It's like that edit of Brendan Fraser that people used to post all the time.
Yeah, where he's like distressingly red.
Yeah.
Red for an amazing reason.
He's right for me.
You gonna try to find it?
Yeah. George Strombo.
Oh my god, there's so many letters.
Yeah.
There's no way I was gonna be able to do that. Wow, yeah. Yeah, dude, he's been on that good thing.
Like I'm sorry to George Stroumboulopoulos, because I do like him.
Yeah, he's a very, very charming guy. Oops. He's smoking on that chimp pack.
Yeah, but like look at this.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jane Goodall.
R.I.P. Jane Goodall. Shout out to George Stroumboulopoulos.
Shout out to George Stroumboulopoulos, too. George Stroumboulopoulos. What is that, like Greek?
Yeah, it was Greek.
Okay.
Maybe you should just told him like a beautiful fact about chimpanzees that changed his perception on the. I think also just his like
brought him to tears.
His whole look with like that ascot
little,
type
yeah.
like bandana and the denim. I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
It feels very Canadian though.
Yeah,
that outfit.
He's a Canadian icon.
Mm-hmm.
So. I remember watching his interview show on CBC.
All right, the TIFF ad. Oh, this is like the sizzle reel.
Oh yeah, the general tips. Yeah, they changed it because it used to have Michelle Yeoh accepting some sort of like lifetime achievement award from TIFF.
Yeah, I don't know why they like changed it like just a little bit and removed the Michelle Yeoh clip.
Yeah.
It made me think there was maybe some sort of story there, but probably not one I could ever learn.
I don't think so. I think they just like probably cycle through like recent events every few years. Like I didn't recognize because they just had a different person accepting an award.
Oh yeah, that's
I didn't
true.
recognize who it was, but I assume it's just some other famous person that got the award more recently.
I do like this ad,
Yeah,
and the part that gets me hyped every time is where it says "Join us at the Lightbox all year round."
Yeah,
because I'm like, I do that, and I just imagine like out of towners coming in for TIFF.
being like, "Fuck!"
They're like,
I can't go to the
dude,
Lightbox
I wish
all
I
year
could
round.
go to the Lightbox all year round. I don't know. It makes me excited. It's Air France ad.
Oh yeah, that's been
She runs
playing
up the Eiffel
Cinematic
Tower.
too,
Yeah, we see that one pretty often at other screenings. It's whatever. And the we take piracy very seriously, and everybody says R.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Carmen Donna. Yeah. All right.
So you didn't actually.
Oh, I didn't put the reprise. Yeah,
the
what were you gonna say
reprisal
about
of these. Well, it's just funny because it's like the only one that's not mean is the action movie one.
Yeah.
Because in the reprisal of the action movie one, where they like have a callback ad to the Rogers ad.
And it's
It's
get
to
you to
advertise
vote.
the People's Choice Award
Yeah.
and saying go to tiff.net/vote.
And it's the message is kind of like, well, whether you're the idiot or the pretentious dude, you should just vote because either way is fine.
Yeah. It's just like everyone has an opinion, but
Yeah.
like it's like they finally it's like the prestige of the magic trick. Because first you see this unreasonable person disrupting this movie shoot by talking about fucking like world cinema or whatever, even though they're just in like garbage.
Yeah.
And then you get flipped back. Now it's like backstage, and the like person who's being attacked by this is now being the dumb asshole.
Yeah.
Because in the Christmas one, it's him being like, "Who cares if it's stupid? We're hot."
Yeah. And he goes, "Is this gluten-free?"
Yeah.
This is very level 0 parody of
just like this
a
guy
hot person,
is
of
like brainless.
of a himbo.
And the slasher one is just like, who cares if you kill me in the last movie? People love sequels.
Yeah. I like the look he gives her
Yeah.
when she says that. I thought that
Looks
was
at her
funny.
through the fucking mask.
She
goes,
does.
"Don't look at me like that."
He does like the horror movie poster look.
Yeah.
And then the action one, it's
The action one, he's just getting his fucking abs airbrushed on or whatever, and his little assistant is just like, "People love action and abs. You don't gotta worry, bro." And she's like, "More bronzer," and he's like, "Always more bronzer." And
Yeah,
it feels
yeah.
like they're like in on it together.
yeah.
It's the only one that feels like they're in on it together.
The hostility.
The other one is like they're
isn't
attacking
there.
each other.
Yeah.
With their own neuroses.
Yeah, the action one movie was a lot nicer. Why didn't they run it from the start?
I have no idea.
Because it's like TIFF doesn't program Christmas movies.
No, yeah.
None of the other
Well,
genres are actually there.
No, they do program Christmas movies. They did Black Christmas last year.
Not as part of the festival, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Sorry. When I say TIFF, I usually mean just the festival. And
I
not
see.
seeing stuff at Lightbox, too. Because, yeah, we see all sorts of crazy crap at Lightbox.
That'd be really funny to world premiere your Christmas movie
Yeah. Festival in September.
at a film festival at the start of September.
All right, now let's talk about Carmadonna.
Let's talk about the worst movie we've ever seen at the festival.
Not well. Yeah, no. I was gonna say not even close. I think Boy Meets World was, or Boy Kills World.
Boy Meets World is the sitcom with Fred Savage.
Boy Kills World, I think, was almost as bad, but yeah, this is the worst.
Or was that Fred Savage? I get young men mixed up.
We saw this largely because it was a midnight movie. The floor for midnight movies is pretty high, usually.
Ben Savage. Fuck.
Ben Savage.
That was so close.
It's like always fun to go out to see a movie at midnight. Usually the vibes are really good. And usually, you know, even if it's not the best movie you've ever seen, it's like weird and gross and memorable. Also, it is created by, directed by, written by the co-creator of a Serbian film.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was
very,
the
very
big,
notorious movie.
That was the big sort of tantalizing factor. And I just realized I left the bathroom door open so you can see the toilet behind me, which I know you hate.
It's okay, but thank you.
Anyways.
So yeah, you'd seen a Serbian film before.
Yeah.
I have never seen it. It shows up all the time in like top 10 most shocking, grotesque movies. And I think that kind of is like all there is to it, is that it shows up in such lists.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was intended as some sort of political statement on, like, difficulties getting government funding for transgressive art. And by naming it a Serbian film, it's then, like, inextricably tied to the Serbian film industry. Which, for the most part, you know, I think, like, in the most abstract way possible, they have a fair point of, like, in a nation post-Balkanization, now you just, like, the government is only giving you money to make movies that are like, Yugoslavia was so oppressive.
Yeah.
Shoot and cry, we did so many crimes.
I don't doubt that, yeah, it's like a huge fucking pain to be an artist in a Balkanized country.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the way to go about any sort of resistance.
Well, yeah, resistance is just like making rape the movie, but like, you know,
it ain't no Sallow, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I'll probably belabor this point a lot talking about this movie, but when you look at the great modern provocateurs,
yeah,
of like Haneke and Von Trier and No Way. And like, if you want to go really modern, then I think Ari Aster has kind of inched his way into this sort of space as well.
He's definitely aiming for
it.
it.
Beau is Afraid and Eddington are both definitely trying to like press buttons in a similar way. Like, you get the sense, generally, maybe not No Way, because he seems pretty dumb. But like, the other guys, you get the sense that like they are culturally well-rounded and have like experienced a lot of different forms of art and bring that into their work. And so that sort of like provocation doesn't come from this like extremely juvenile place of just like, what can I get away with in a movie?
Yeah. There's a foundation to it.
Yeah.
Where they know how to make an actual movie and then subvert it.
Yeah, there's like craft on display. Like, you can't watch Antichrist or like Funny Games and think like, oh, this guy is like an amateur.
Yeah.
Whereas you can watch a Serbian film, and even more so, you can watch Karmadana.
Oh God, yeah.
And think, oh, this person like just learned about movies yesterday.
This person has never watched anything but read a variety of horrific doujinshi.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like maybe that's too mean. I don't know. Like, they clearly, not that they don't have like any experience, but just like the things that they've taken from those experiences are so like stupid, and to come off as dumber than fucking Gaspar Noé, the guy who's like, well, I put myself jerking off in the gay club scene to show that I don't, believe homosexuals are evil. So people know I'm not homophobic in my movie about like a gay guy raping someone for no reason.
Noé catching so many strays here.
Well, I don't. It's like like Von Trier has also done a bunch of embarrassing shit, like his whole fucking weird Nazi comments during the Melancholia press tour.
Oh,
and stuff.
Yeah.
A bunch of shit
that
like
felt
that.
very like you're smelling your own farts type of provocurism.
Well, yeah, I think that was just like
provocateur. Sorry,
very like shock jockey of him.
Yeah.
But like when you look at like the actual art, there is like something there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Alexander Radovievich, I got so mixed up by that name. Alexander Radovievich, both watching his films and listening to him speak makes it clear he's not very intelligent.
So yeah, the premise of this movie, somewhat like a Serbian film, the premise is really just secondary to trying to get you into all these provocative, culturally cutting commentary type situations, but it's this woman.
Well, this is like even more heavy-handed with the cultural commentary, while also being like less shocking than a Serbian film.
That might be my least favorite part, was just the cultural commentary.
Oh, it was really bad.
So yeah, this woman is harangued on the phone by this godlike entity that could kill her unborn baby at a moment's notice and demonstrates these supernatural powers to make people kill themselves, but tells her that she needs to go kill people on his quest for some sort of divine justice. And that's pretty much the whole movie. There's various revelations and like lore and stuff, but it's all very, very stupid, and it's unclear if he like really cared about that aspect. It felt very kind of like slapdash to me.
Well, he clearly cared about it on some level, if only because the movie takes like a 15-minute detour to talk about like the origin of God.
Yeah, but that felt to me
the origin of like vice in human society.
That felt
and
to
also
me like
just like really belaboring this point of like Buddha and Buddhism and the cycle of samsara.
Oh god, that I felt like offensive. As someone who's taken a grand total of 1 Indian philosophy class in undergrad, I still felt like I knew way more than him, and that he was getting a lot of stuff like very surface level wrong. Like, you just didn't look up what that word meant, right? But yeah, I just mean, like, yeah, there is like a huge detour to talk about it, but to me that doesn't really signal that it was like important necessarily to the creation of the movie, because you could just cut that and the movie's like no different.
Yeah, that's basically true, I guess.
And much more focus is placed on like gross out action and cultural commentary, both of which were like infuriatingly bad, I think.
Well, they're just like so stupid. Like, I don't know.
There's not much else to say. It's just stupid.
Like, people have gotten on the case of like fucking the second Knives Out movie, or like Don't Look Up. Eddington more recently, as like very blunt, dumb social commentary, very liberal, very in your face, over the top, just kind of like, okay, we fucking get it.
Yeah. It's very level 0 observations.
And then it's like, those movies look very smart.
Yeah. I feel like Zizek texts.
People don't realize how bad they could have it if they're watching Glass Onion. Like, yeah, we get it. The billionaire class is evil. And it's like, oh, well, fucking... What if some retarded fat Serbian guy made, like, a fucking 2-hour movie that's just, like, going on your phone's bad for you?
Yeah, it's like all the villains are, like, influencers and, like... It's one of those things, too, where I'm like, you're trying to be on my side insofar as this is sort of like a anti-capitalist movie, anti-corporate movie, talking about like the degradation of the arts and the degradation of just the human spirit in the service of profiteering and stuff. But it's like, this guy like doesn't know why. Like, he's not really putting together like a coherent argument of why. And so I just feel like insulted by this like attempt at representation. The violence in action too, really, really disappointing. They
really cheaped out on it.
They really cheaped out on it. Pretty much everything is like cut away, cut back to the results. So instead of, seeing actual gore and shit coming out of somebody's body and knives going in and stuff, you just see somebody holding like a cheap looking fake heart.
Yeah,
and going, like, I took out his heart.
That's like the worst part of the movie by far. So basically, like, to skip through what is essentially a lot of nothing. This woman,
it was like 2 hours long.
This woman has a very long night, and this vengeful Buddha has basically been leading her to this place where his son is being held, and his son is like a patient at like a psychiatric inpatient facility, but he has like become a social media star there because he's like the son of God and has like an incredible ability to put people at ease and heal what ails them. And
yeah, it's not
all these patients
really clear what he actually does, but it's something like that.
He has some kind of allure that is being marketed and that like is being exploited by the people who run this facility, and everything is leading up to an all-out assault on the people who run this facility.
Yeah.
And basically, the sort of climax of the film is that, like, you can see it in the poster. There's, like, the evil woman...
Oh, yeah, this scene, too.
...who helps run it, who comes into conflict with our main heroine, who is just, like, fucking evil for no reason and just wants to make money off of, like, social media exploitation. And then there's, like, the boss above her, who's like some bald guy, where first there's like an extended unending embarrassing sequence of him on the phone with the vengeful god.
Oh yeah, that was a really painful part.
Can't take control of him like other people because his son has love for him.
Yeah.
and is like, once his son is dispelled of the notion that like the people in this facility care about him and are like working for what's best for him, and like the illusion is shattered, then the god takes over the guy. But like before that, they just have this really fucking like interminable back and forth that's just like him being like, I hate all capitalist social media moguls, and then the guy is just like, well, I am a fucking epic chud.
Yeah.
What are you, some kind of 70s hippie? I don't know who this is.
It's so embarrassing.
It's like really dumb. And then he just like, the god just like sacrifices his own son. He's like, you were a lost cause, you failed in your mission on this earth, and so I'm just gonna let whatever happens to you. And he like uses his powers to like make the social media guy like stop being duplicitous and give in to his inhibitions and do what he really wants to do, which is live stream him dissecting the Son of God.
Yeah.
To all their viewers who believe in this man as a prophet.
It's meant to be like a crucifixion kind of
crucifixion sort
thing.
of deal, like him lashing out at his audience who he has contempt for, and this man who he has contempt for, and like laying bare that he's just like an evil fucking person or whatever. And they don't show any of it.
Yeah.
It is all done off screen, and then they cut back to very cheap looking props of him being like, look, I took out his eyes, now he can't see you.
Yeah.
I have his heart, you all want his heart. I've cut his dick off, and here's his balls, you all wanted that part, right? And then he puts them all in a blender and then drinks like thick water Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And is like, so delicious.
I genuinely can't believe that we were meant to like find that gross. It's just like so juvenile. Like
well, I don't even know,
it's like from
what...
Goosebumps.
It's hard to tell even what the intention was because it was so poorly done. If you're supposed to think it's like cool or like somewhat
enraging
or like cathartic
like,
at all.
Stop it, evil man.
Like it really is like child level morality.
Yeah.
And that's like before that happens, there's also just like lore on the vengeful god that also takes like fucking forever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was kept in a white room and I kept making these beautiful creations, and then humans would tell me, I've changed it, I've perverted your vision, and that's just like hammered on a bunch. And he's like, and then I became an alcoholic, so I kept drinking and making shit.
It felt very rambling and first draft, and like he kind of wrote himself into a corner where there is a big spot in the script that's like metaphysical explanation of character, and then he just like made it up in one take.
Yeah, like there's no
it makes no sense.
No point is made.
No point. It's no
all.
Connection to anything else that's happening.
Say anything. That doesn't fucking mean anything. Like, it's just stupid. Like, this whole movie is so fucking stupid. And like, once again, having seen the Serbian film, one of the few things you can give that movie credit for is that it does not pull its punches. Like, it's not like they're showing fucking full penetration or whatever, but like, there is just like insane sexual violence towards women and children in that movie that is depicted and is there to like cause shock and disgust and create like a reaction in you.
Yeah.
And this is like written in the same mode, but they have like not even done you the dignity of trying to at least make you feel disgusted, and instead you're just like bored.
You know,
it's like a boring movie.
I was very, very bored. I was very bored and very tired, and would have happily left at any point if you were down to leave.
Yeah, I think for me, I was just like, I have to see what the next thing is, because I'm just so curious, like, if at any point this makes, like, any sort of sense. Like, not in a way where it's like, oh, the movie's so hard to follow. It's, like, Lynchian. There's so much going, but just in a way of, like...
Is this really it?
Am I going to, like, finally grasp onto a coherent thought from an adult man?
Well, I remember, too, we got to this one slightly late. We missed, like, maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we were back-to-back with another movie. Much higher on the list. And I kept waiting for them to, like, pull back and reveal that what we were watching was, like, what a character was watching on TV. And I thought that probably the movie started with like a setup to that. Because that's just how like fake it feels. That's just how amateurish it feels. I was just fiddling with that.
Yeah, I know.
My other complaint, speaking of pulling punches, one of the big themes of this movie is that she's like pregnant and she's doing this all for her unborn child, and there's like a little character arc and stuff. Again, it doesn't really make any sense. It's very insubstantial. But they keep kind of like teasing violence against the unborn baby.
Yeah, against the stomach.
That some really horrific shit is going to happen to somebody. In this scene that's in the poster has her like threatening to stomp on her stomach. And they really make a meal out of it.
It's a very funny scene, honestly, because this woman who's like already shown to be like kind of evil or whatever, just for no reason sees this pregnant woman she's knocked unconscious and like starts touching herself and is like, I always wanted to do this, and rolls up her shirt and then like big combat boot, like over exaggerated slow wind up to going to stomp on her stomach.
And guess what happens? She's saved. She doesn't get stomped on. And it's like, that would have at least been memorable.
Yeah.
That would have been at least like genuinely bad taste. I think I would have been like upset by that.
Well, that would have been like
maybe.
At least
it would have been something.
There.
They're at least they're going there. But no, and like nothing like that happens. There's just a couple moments where you think it might.
Maybe it's like less extreme than it is in my memory, because it's been like a decade since I've watched a Serbian film. But like the end of that movie is that he gets tricked by the like insane snuff film director into raping his unconscious like 10-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And then is so overcome with grief after that he like gathers his wife and son, who like was also being raped by a different guy next to him, and just like shoots a bullet through all three of them at the same time.
That's how it ends?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
just, like, he just is like, so fucked up by what happened that he's just like, we all have to die.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like really extreme and ridiculous and over the top and in bad taste, but it's like a thing that you remember.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably remember that, and you just told me, you know? Like, it's like conceptually very offensive and yeah, genuine bad taste. Whereas here, it's like they wimp out. They pull their punches. So what's the point? Yeah, terrible. Want to move on?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I could talk more about stupid things that I remember, but like we don't have to.
I don't know. I think we gotta keep it moving. But yeah, it's a like. I don't even know if it's like fascinatingly bad. It really is just like bad. It's just like fascinating that it could be this bad.
I think it's like fascinatingly bad in the way that like the entire marketing for this film is basically like in the Q&A with the director after, he was like, oh, you know, this is my first movie since I got canceled. And it's like, well, why not? I don't think you got canceled. I think a Serbian film is so like stupid and like non-artistic and dumb that like no one wants to fund another idea from a guy who could come up with something that retarded.
Yeah.
But also like, this is your comeback. This is your like, because it was the whole thing was like from the guy who did a Serbian film.
Yeah.
Peter Klopowski's intro was like, you know, if I haven't offended you guys at least once during the festival, I haven't done my job.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing actually like offensive in this movie. It's like offensive in the way that I'm like, this is like poor craft.
I am offended that
and like
you showed
a waste
this.
of money.
Yeah.
But like in terms of actual like thorny offensive stuff, like it's basically non-existent. Like it's all so fucking pussied out on and like fucking sanded down and just like a total waste of time.
It really was.
Yeah, so I don't know. And it's my fault for picking it. Like I picked it because I was like, there's not really a lot of movies that were advertising themselves as straight up horror.
Yeah.
On this year's Midnight Madness slate, and like I also just like some sort of morbid curiosity about like, okay, you're like half of the team behind a Serbian film, so like surely you're gonna do something nuts.
And like we went in knowing it could be bad. Like I remember we talked about it, and at the end of the day, it's like if I had a magic button that was just like all TIFF movies will be good 100% of the time guaranteed, I don't know if I'd press it. Because it is, like, interesting to realize, like, 10 minutes in, like, oh shit, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of an interesting experience. And so, I don't know. I'm not, like, mad about seeing it, really. It just sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I laughed a lot during it.
That's true. That's true. You got some yucks.
Yeah. Because every time it was just like, I can't believe that, like, it was just, like, a constant succession of, like, yeah, we're going there, and then they don't go there. And it was like
they literally just cut away.
It was unbelievable to me how often it happens.
All right. Next, Rental Family, a Japanese film starring Brendan Fraser. We're in the Renaissance, where he is a kind of down on his luck actor, unable to get really any big breaks. He lives in Japan. And he starts working this gig where he will pretend to be a family member or just other person, some sort of false identity, and trick someone in a contrived scenario to help them in some way. Which I think is a great premise. I like Brendan Fraser. I like a Japanese film. But ultimately, this didn't do a whole lot for me. I kind of was surprised to see it. Like, I didn't dislike it. And I was a little surprised when it all shook out, and this was my second least favorite. I did like it, but it didn't do a ton for me. It was fine.
Like, well, there's like a few different story threads that kind of follows with like different people who he is like the rental family guy for.
Yeah.
Who are kind of like, someone is always being tricked and doesn't understand that this is like an act.
Mm.
And just kind of the whole idea behind it. So, like, the part with, like, him pretending to be someone's dad.
Yeah.
Was just kind of, like, whatever.
He's tricking this little girl into thinking he's her dad because her single mom needs a father to show up for her private school intake.
Yeah.
Interviews. Like in Spy Family. If that's a good point of reference.
Yeah.
For all you at home.
for the people who watch your YouTube channel, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be helpful.
Like that, I mean, it was like fine, and it just progressed the way you expected, where like the whole movie in general is just kind of like, and then he gets a little too close and a little too wrapped up and really feels connected to these people when he's not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And, he kind of oversteps some bounds or whatever. So like that whole progress was kind of like typical or whatever, and didn't really.
Yeah,
like, there was no surprises
no
to
real
how
surprises.
that kind of went down. It was just like you could
very by the book.
If someone explained to you the idea, you can guess like basically like the 3 or 4 major beats that happened.
Yeah.
The stuff with the old man who's like a retired actor whose daughter hires this service because she wants him to pose as a journalist who is doing a retrospective on this man's career so he can feel like he's still important and like people still care about his work. And it is revealed that he is like in the early stages of dementia and is starting to kind of forget things and like wander off and act erratically and whatever. I found, maybe just because my grandmother had dementia before she passed and stuff, I found very like emotional and affecting and like really strong, and it felt like the whole movie just should have been that.
Yeah.
And it should have just been about that relationship because that's so clearly like the strongest relationship here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, even the tertiary elements of like, there's this woman who also works at the rental family company who kind of has to make her own stand because she's constantly being rented out to play like guys' mistresses because they don't want to actually put their mistress in danger, but they still need someone to like cop to cheating on their wife or whatever and like let her take her anger out on this person or whatever, her like standing up for like, that's like fine. The whole thing with the guy who runs the rental family business turning out to like
spoilers.
Who cares?
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Because we just talked about like everything that happens in the ending of the stupid fucking movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't care about spoilers for that, but
whatever.
This scene I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to watch the movie, I guess, but like, it turns out, you know, he doesn't exactly have his shit together. I'll say that.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't
Which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, it's a great scene, and it like, you know, works well in the context of the movie of him as like this guy who was like singularly dedicated to the idea of this company and this mission, and that it's like positive in the world or whatever. And the conclusion they reach at the end of the movie is really weird.
Yes.
Because Brendan Fraser essentially proves that it's not a positive in the world, and that you shouldn't just like fucking lie to people for no reason. And then they're just kind of like, and then the adventures continue.
Yeah, he keeps doing it. Like, I don't mind spoiling that because I think it's a weird flaw of the movie. Well, and I think it kind of comes...
Because it's like this whole moment of like, you can't... comes to a head of like, you can't just keep fucking tricking people. Because like, the little girl finds out that this guy's just a fucking actor and not her dad.
Yeah, and she's distraught and confused and mad at her mother.
Yeah, and
all very reasonably.
His coworker is like, I can't keep getting my ass kicked by random mad wives because guys don't want a cop to fucking cheating on them.
Very reasonable.
And then Brendan Fraser goes fucking completely AWOL with this fucking old guy to like an island in the middle of fucking nowhere where he grew up to like uncover lost memories or whatever. And it's like, well, you can't just fucking kidnap a geriatric dementia patient because you really like him and he really wants you to.
Yeah.
And for some reason that's not like, we should stop doing this. It's just like, well, we'll just be better at it. Lessons
learned. But, like, it's also very much like, but those were all good experiences anyways.
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna do it, like, better. Yeah. And I think partially it's that the director got a little too close to the real version of this industry that does actually exist in Japan. I don't think it's really typically used for this sort of thing where it's a trick. Usually it's just for companionship. For someone to play a certain role. This comes up a lot in the Fable, great manga series. And he does do that on occasion throughout the movies. There's a couple little montage scenes of him doing other jobs.
Just a guy who wants a friend to play video games with.
Yeah. And I think the directors became so sympathetic to like that use case, which has been going in Japan for like decades now. And I think you could argue has some benefits. But wanted to write a movie where the dramatic hook is around him doing, like, a trick, but, like, never really comes close to ethically justifying the trick use case, you know?
Well, like, the only time it really makes sense is, like, in the first job he's hired for.
Yeah. There's a whole sequence of his first real gig.
His first real gig where he has to be the husband, like the groom to this woman who's getting married. And the twist there is that she's actually a lesbian, but her parents are disapproving of that and wanted to see her get married to a man.
Yeah. I thought that whole sequence was pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's a good reason to fucking trick people. That
was a good start to the movie. It felt like an actual situation where what he was doing made sense.
And it, like, to me,
it had a nice little ending. And
it came off kind of like the idea was like the parents are kind of in on it. But they just wanted like the pictures for like social reasons and to have that moment.
It was all just the feeling of like, this is all one big facade, but we're like creating it together. Yeah. But yeah, and I remember you pointing this out too, that like near the end when all of these things start blowing up and there's all this conflict, there's like a lot of the really critical conversations because it has this like very kind of sappy happy ending.
Yeah.
But like all of the critical conversations where somebody's really mad at Brendan Fraser, they're not letting him do whatever. Then cut to Brendan Fraser is doing the thing and he says, "We talked about it and they see it my way now."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what? Like, did you skip a scene? Like,
well, yeah, the whole ending
very deflating.
Like, spoilers for the ending. Spoilers for the ending. Fucking like the whole ending of the movie where it's like he gets to go to the old guy's funeral, despite the fact that they had to trick his daughter into dropping the charges against him of kidnapping.
Yeah.
Because he fucked off with her dementia-addled father.
Yeah.
Just like completely glossed over. And I feel it's just the thing where they could have like mined some emotion and some resolution out of that moment of them having a conversation, of her being like, why the fuck did you do that? And him just being like, your dad was really fucking lonely.
Yeah,
and was like losing his memories and remembering stuff from like years before you ever existed. And he wanted to see that one last time because it was the most powerful moment of the movie to me.
Oh, hands down, yeah.
When they find those photos and he just says that, like, I wanted to see it before I forgot everything. Like, I'm choking up even thinking about it now.
No,
like, it's really well
that
done.
part is really, really nice, yeah.
And it's another thing where I'm like, why wasn't that the whole movie? Why wasn't this just like a Millennium Actress riff?
No.
Like, but that was a whole thing that you could have like got stuff out of. And then there's a whole thing where it's like he sees the daughter again and she's like, well, you lied to me. And it's like, first of all, the mom was like, oh, I don't want you to have any contact with her anymore, which is another thing of just like, there could have been a conversation there and another moment where you mine the emotional depth of like what he has learned in tricking people. Of him being like, well, I think, I found that she really needs that mentor figure in her life, and I was doing that for her, and I felt fulfilled doing it as well, and like this can be mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
But instead that's just skipped.
That just happens off screen at some point.
And then he just has this conversation with the daughter where she's just like, okay, what's your name? And he's like, I'm fucking Kevin or whatever.
Yeah.
This is another Brendan Fraser thing where like ever since he's come back they just keep casting him, besides Killers of the Flower Moon which he was brilliant in. He just keeps getting these roles where it's like, and you're just kind of this like schlub who's on the verge of tears all the time.
Yeah, he just kind of goes like,
is constantly like simpering, like I don't
well, I'm gonna be all right.
Because even like that, the reconciliation of her, like them being honest with each other for the first time and being able to be like, if you still want me around, I can be there for you in your life. And her being like, maybe I do. Is sweet. It's sweet. I'm not immune to that. I'm not too cynical for that.
It was nice.
But it's just like, you're just like skipping
it just felt very, very flat. Very bare bones. And yeah, just like really... And here's the other thing too. This movie would not be like... It would be like 98% the same if he was a journalist that came back from overseas to reconnect with his estranged wife and daughter and write a piece on this retired actor. If that was what the movie was just about, it would be, like 98% the same. And to me, that feels like a waste. Like, to me, I'm like, well, why have all this contrivance of it being he's an actor and it's all fake or whatever if you're not really going to do much with it? And most of the time, he's just, like, in character, and it's no different than if he was just the person he was pretending to be.
Yeah.
So the whole time, that was kind of disappointing me, too. Like, there's only, like, a couple scenes, and I think they are good scenes, where it really dives into just, like, how weird and, like, Nathan Fielder-esque this could be,
Yeah.
Like... But again, most of the time, it seems to have such reverence for this idea and the good things that can come from it, that it doesn't seem to really want to look too directly on how fucking weird it is as a concept.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like your parents are going to like it.
Yep.
They're going to think it's sweet.
Yep.
The funniest thing about this movie is that coming into the festival, this was very much being positioned by the distributor, Searchlight Pictures, as like, this is going to be our Oscar contender.
Yeah,
and we're going to set up Brendan Fraser for like another Best Actor Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
And people are going to be really into it. And then the audience reaction was really tepid.
Yep.
And now they've stopped marketing it, and they bought the rights to The Testament of Anne Lee starring Amanda Seyfried, and are now all in on that.
Well, sometimes you swing and miss. You know what one of my favorite things about this movie is, though, as a final little aside? Has a really positive depiction of sex work and John's.
Yeah.
That Brendan Fraser's character visits a prostitute
I wanted more
semi-frequently.
of her.
She was great.
I thought there should have been more.
She was a great character, great performance.
Well, it's another thing that they like feels like just like
skipped.
They just like tripped over in the script and didn't think about why it was there.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is like manufacturing intimacy and relationships with people, and also goes to a place with manufactured intimacy to fulfill his own life. There's something
There's a
there.
nice little parallel
There's
there.
Stuff there.
It's like he himself is using the service he provides in a way, but they don't really get into it, and that character just kind of disappears after a certain point in the script.
Because he's just like a fucking
Totally unresolved.
lonely white motherfucker in Japan going to the damn soap land.
I'll say this too. This was another thing that bugged me throughout the whole film. It really does lean a lot on this idea of like, haha, fish out of water. Brendan Fraser's a white dude, and he's in wacky Japan. What is he gonna get up to? And it feels written almost the exact same way as like Lost in Translation, which came out in 2003. And let me tell you, in the last 22 years, there has been a boom of Japanese tourism, and now you will see white motherfuckers walking around literally everywhere you look in Tokyo. He goes to Team Lab Borderless, which is a very popular tourist attraction, and he's the only gaijin in there. And it's just so, like, unrealistic. And just, like, this whole kind of, like... They don't totally make it explicit, but it feels like a lot of the humor has at least some component of, hey, what is he gonna do? It's Japan. It's so strange and different.
Well, that's also...
And I'm like... not really.
I kind of don't get that just because he's worked there for like 7 years. And this is like he's lived there for
He's
a really
lived
long
there for
time.
7 years. He can speak Japanese too, like the character can. So it felt weird whenever they would do that kind of joke, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's move on.
Family.
Maddie's Secret.
No.
We saw this at the recommendation of a friend of ours who's big into John Early as a comedian. He's done all sorts of various web comedies and stuff. This is his first feature debut.
Yeah.
First feature debut, whatever. And we also really like Connor O'Malley, who's got a fairly big role in it. I liked it. Really funny.
Yeah.
A lot of really good shtick. Connor O'Malley, very funny. The premise is that it's like a parody of 4 teens TV melodramas that are all around, like, this one's around eating disorders, which is a common theme, but
Yeah.
that's sort of like scandalous type thing. It's like an empathetic bridge to usually young women that are going through stuff like that. So this is like written very, very tightly to that formula and parodies all that stuff and never really strays too far from like that being the joke, except that it's the TikTok era and she's like a food influencer and everybody's using the latest slang and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that aspect was actually really, really well done, which I think is a hard needle to thread. The one thing, though, that I didn't really find funny, and maybe this is... I don't know, maybe this is just all projection. But to me, it seems like the joke is that John Early plays Maddie, so it's like a cross-gender portrayal.
Yeah.
And to me, there's kind of like an inherent fundamental joke in that she's really worried about her eating disorder. Everyone is saying, Maddie, you're like the most beautiful girl ever. You're so pretty. Girls are getting like jealous of her. Girls are getting frustrated by her prettiness. Her husband is like unrepentantly horny for her. But she's got body issues and self-image issues, even though she's like totally thin.
Yeah.
So to me, there's kind of a joke that's like, why are you worried about your weight? You look like a man.
I don't think that was what was happening at all.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think that was at all what was happening.
Okay.
Because I think, like, the whole strength of the movie to me is that it plays everything very, 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 very straight.
Yeah, yeah.
And it, like, exists entirely in its own kayfabe. And, like, you can laugh at the parts that you think are funny, and there's even parts that are supposed to get you emotional and kind of, like, trigger your heartstrings.
Yeah, yeah.
And at no point is it ever really, like, poking fun at her in any way.
Don't you think a little bit?
No, I don't think at all. I think it's like it's poking fun at the concept. Because if you've seen these TV movies and these like fucking after school specials and whatever, this is like an archetype of just like she has everything.
Yeah.
But she has one secret that no one can know.
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely that
and it's
type
playing
of
that
character.
to like a very heightened extent. But I don't think at any point is it ever just like, haha, she looks like a man. Haha, she has an eating disorder. Like, those are all treated very seriously.
Well, no, yeah, haha. The eating disorder is definitely treated seriously, but I do think there is haha. She looks like a man. No,
I don't think so at all. No, I don't. It never acknowledges that it's like a performance in drag or anything.
no, not.
It is just like people are.
There's no
effusively-
jokes like about that.
Yeah, it's
like,
just people like effusively praising her to like ridiculous levels because that is like how these sorts of TV movies operate.
You don't think though when they make a joke about, oh Maddie, like the way your hair falls perfectly upon your face, and then it like cuts to her like doing the cliche like swish or whatever. That was getting like laughs and stuff. Isn't that laughs at like the juxtaposition of it being John Early doing that kind of like shtick and having those mannerisms and stuff? I don't know.
I think the laugh is just that it like being the cliche and that it was just like completely committing to that as the idea.
No, I think
Like, it
you're
does-
probably right.
It does a bunch of tropey stuff like that completely unironically.
Well, yeah. But like to me, that's the comedic juxtaposition. Is that normally this would be played by like some wafy, waspy blonde girl, but here it's John Early.
I don't know. That didn't come across to me at all.
Huh. I guess it's just projection. At any rate, to me, and again, I guess it's probably just projection, but that whole aspect, I was just like, I don't really find that funny. Like, in general, John Early's performance, I didn't find that funny. Maybe just because I am not as into him. Maybe there's some, like, connection that if I had seen him in a whole bunch of stuff before, I'd be like, that's my guy. But the whole time I was like, I don't know. I just was kind of like, why is that funny? Why is that funny? But again, I think I was distanced from it, I think, because of like a projection feeling. Yeah. But we don't need to get into all that.
I don't know. Like, you could be right. Maybe that's like maybe
I
that
don't
was
know.
the intent, and that it didn't just come across to me. But like, I think especially listening to John Early talk about it after, and how all his intention was just like, I wanted to play an ingenue and like an old Hollywood type dame, and I wanted to make one of these TV movies that I used to watch with my sister and everything. Like, I don't think there was really any joke. Like, I think he's just like a really gay guy who thinks it's cool to be a woman.
Well, that might be another thing going on. But, okay. I mean, I can get behind that. Anyways, I did still like it, but it ended up here on the list.
It still has a bunch of great jokes in it.
Oh, yeah.
Everything with Connor O'Malley.
Very, very
like
funny.
this like weird slimy boss of like a food content production factory.
Her best friend, played by Kate Berlant.
Yeah.
Who's madly in love with her and is just like a total lunatic.
Weird,
Found very, very
lesbian.
funny when she breaks into the eating disorder rehab facility by faking an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And I thought the heartfelt moments were pretty nice too. Like,
Yeah.
didn't really do a ton for me. Like, I didn't feel that affected, but I was happy that they went for it sincerely.
Yeah.
And they didn't try to make a joke out of absolutely everything in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good stuff?
Yeah.
Alright, what's next? The Smashing Machine.
Assing machine.
This I went into as probably my most anticipated movie at TIFF. Yeah. Well, up there with a couple other ones later. Yeah, good thinking. This is directed by Benny Safdie, one half of the Safdie Bros, who have produced some of my favorite movies, period.
And now hate each other.
Total fallout, making movies on their own. Benny's came out first. I had been a big fan of The Curse, which he co-created in some capacity, co-wrote. So I was like, okay, Benny's got the sauce. Benny might be the one to carry the torch. This is like a remake of a documentary about a real UFC fighter, Mark Kerr.
Well, MMA fighter.
Yeah, I guess UFC as a sport or as a franchise or whatever.
Well, yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, there's like one sequence of him in the UFC, but it's mostly centered around his time in Pride.
Right,
In
which is a
Japan.
Japanese, yeah. Anyways,
Not
yeah.
to be like a nitpicking nerd. But
No, I get
really,
it.
I really love that era of MMA, and I like the the stories about that. And whatever.
Yeah, so you'd seen the documentary.
Yeah, I've seen the documentary.
Big fan of that.
Big fan of the documentary. And if you watched our TIFF picking our movies video,
Ah, yes, yeah.
I was basically 100% right in
Yep.
all my reservations and everything I thought was going to happen.
Yup.
I was completely vindicated. You were owned in the marketplace of ideas, and I'm going to sell you into white slavery.
Well, my big confusion was I assumed that Mark Kerr must be either like some sort of scumbag or like something horrible happens to him. That I thought like he was going to be like dead by the end of the movie. And I assumed, because we've seen a lot of stuff about like pro wrestling, combat sports in general, stuff like that, they usually have like really tragic lives.
Yeah, most people do not get a happy ending in this business.
So when you were like, oh, I think it'll just kind of retell the documentary, I was like, no, I think it's going to be like really and like mean almost. Like I think it'll be a harsh, unflinching look at this Mark Kerr fella. But what I learned,
I mean, the documentary also is already a harsh, unflinching look at this Mark Kerr fella.
well, yeah, but like in the end of the day, like Mark Kerr, he seems like a pretty good guy.
Yeah, well, that's why the documentary was a hit. That was its whole appeal, is that like it completely broke down the societal perception of what an MMA fighter was, especially at a time when like UFC was kind of this outlaw thing, and states athletic commissions were talking about it like it was some like demonic blood sport from hell that only like total sociopaths engage in. And then you see this just like normal soft-spoken man
Yeah.
who just happens to be very good at holding people down and punching them in the face until they're unconscious.
Yeah, that's what I was really surprised by. And I think what happens in this movie is that Benny Safdie has such a reverence for Mark Kerr and such a reverence for like MMA. And even though he's like, yeah, we'll show the dark side of it, painkiller addiction and injury and, you know, the marital problems and all this stuff, it's with such like a kindliness.
Yeah.
And that to me is like the complete antithesis of all of their other movies. Where even when you had sympathetic characters, they were like getting churned into mincemeat. And it was meant to be like this compelling tearing them down into hell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like kid gloves. It wasn't like nice to them. It wasn't, you know, and I feel like The Rock too, he just was kind of like a fan of and was so excited to get him and just kind of let him do whatever he wanted to get this exactly like you said would happen. Guess what, The Rock? You know, you're known for being like an action star, but we're going to show some complexity here. Here you get to be a professional fighter, like you already pretended to be for your entire career, but he's kind of like he's got a heart of gold.
He's a gentle giant.
He's a gentle giant. He's a really beautiful soul. You think you can do that? And it's just like, where's the adversarialness? Like, where's the edge to this? Where's the feeling of like something that kind of tears into you? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a couple of reasons for that, right? One of them is just that this is like, pardon me, oftentimes shot for shot the documentary.
Yeah.
Like they've just recreated entire sequences wholesale.
Yeah.
The other thing is that everyone who in real life was in that documentary and part of Mark Kerr's life was consulted on this movie.
Yeah.
His ex-wife, who he has this horrible dysfunctional relationship with, which is like the source of all the friction in the film basically,
Yeah.
was consulted by Emily Blunt for her performance.
Yeah.
Mark Kerr was like completely involved in the production process. Like all of the old Pride posters and like event pamphlets and stuff were all like either from his private collection of stuff from his career or recreated from the stuff from his private collection. Like, Mark Coleman was in the audience for the premiere. Don was in the audience. Mark Kerr was on stage. Bas Rutten plays himself in the movie, who was, like, you know, obviously a very pivotal figure to Mark Kerr's life.
He's the coach.
At the time, his coach. At the time of the documentary, and then, like, 20 years later, now that he's, like, fucking 60, is just playing himself, but 20 years. It's so weird.
Mark Kerr shows up in the movie, too, at the end.
Yeah, there's an epilogue
they do
that is just like, and
where are they
Mark
now?
Kerr today.
Yeah. And he's happy. Can you imagine at the end of Uncut Gems, cutting to, and here's Adam Sandler, 8 years later, and he's happy. It make no fucking sense.
Yeah, I think the story of Mark Kerr is inspirational and uplifting and beautiful. This is a guy who, like, was one of the very early stars and pioneers of MMA, and he never reached the heights of, like, his best friend Mark Coleman, or even, you know, the reputation of Bas Rutten. But, like, he was a star, and he was a fighter that a lot of people loved in America and in Japan and in Brazil and, like, everywhere that MMA was. And, you know, as part of this documentary, he became this avatar for, like, you know, the real side of MMA fighters and, like, the reality of their lives. And he overcomes his fucking opioid painkiller addiction and, like, this toxic relationship with this woman. And more than that, you know, probably the most important part of the whole documentary, of the whole movie, of his life, is that he overcomes his need to win.
Yeah.
He overcomes the fear of losing, of feeling less than, and, you know, becomes a more well-rounded person, or whatever nice bullshit you want to put on it. Like, you
know. And I totally agree. The story is great. But the whole time I was watching it, the only thing that really made that story compelling was, like, knowing that it was real.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I was just thinking of what you said, of, like, why does this need to exist? We could just watch the documentary. I just was wishing that I was watching the documentary. And instead of watching The Rock, I could just be watching the real guy do all this stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like...
It felt so pointless.
The Rock is good in this movie, right? Like, he is.
Yeah, it's like, it's a solid performance.
It's just a very good impression of a real guy.
Yeah.
Playing out scenes that were filmed of his life.
Yeah.
It is, like, the most... takes zero effort to get across sort of thing for a professional actor to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like so much of the buzz around his, like, transformative performance is just people grading on a fucking bell curve. Because he's just been, like, this action garbage guy for his entire fucking career. And obviously, like, you know, I ranted about this in my Letterboxd review. Like, the master of spinning the narrative. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. And that's a gift from pro wrestling that has carried on kind of into the movie business. Like, he tried to coup the Fast and the Furious franchise. That didn't work. He tried to coup the DC universe. That didn't work. So what does he do? He goes, I'm going to get Oscar recognition.
Yeah.
So I find an actor or director with a lot of clout.
Oh, yeah.
I sell him a story about how I want to be taken seriously. I get on more steroids than usual to get big enough to play this MMA fighter. And I get on some fucking prosthetics. I do an accent. I do all this shit. But at the end of the day, like, it's just made for people to put the clips side by side with the documentary and be like, wow, it's just like it.
Wow. They love doing that.
Yeah.
That is, like, the mode of quote-unquote good acting these days. Is like, I really thought he was that famous person. And it's like, that's, like, impressions.
Yeah.
That's what Bill Gates does on the Tim and Eric show. That's what Roddy Rodriguez does to pretend to be frickin' Jack Sparrow. Like,
yeah, and
it's a parlor trick.
It's probably gonna fucking work because the Academy fucking loves that garbage. Because like
Yep.
Rami Malek, who I adore, got an Oscar for putting in some fake teeth and pretending to be Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And one of the like shittiest and also like worst edited
Oh my
fucking
God,
biopics
yeah.
I've ever seen. Well, and
Who the fuck-
another biopic that was poisoned by the involvement of the surviving members of Queen, where the whole movie has to be like, and Freddie Mercury
super nerder
was
neutered.
just this like unique figure addicted to drugs and sex, whereas we were, you know, having a couple of small beers and then calling our wives on the road. We were being good boys. We were fucking Catholic.
I think that's another thing that bugs me about this movie is, like, because there is such enthusiastic participation by all the people involved, we're never really going to see the dirt of it.
Yeah.
They're never going to mention steroids.
Yeah,
They're never...
The documentary also, essentially, I think, just to keep kayfabe on how MMA was existing at the time.
Well,
does
yeah.
not get into like everyone is obviously on performance enhancing drugs in early Pride.
But yeah, it's just like, what is the point, man? Like, what? it's to have a facade of, we're gonna go into the darkest corners of this guy's life, and it's harrowing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still such a neutered version of what really happened. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, like, and there's great parts and there's funny parts, and like Emily Blunt is good.
Yeah.
Again, it's like an impression, but she's like a great actress. Like, I do like her, but it is just like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Man?
Like, at the end of the day, I did like this movie. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
I
I think of
enjoyed
it
it.
positively. I enjoyed my time. I thought it was very well edited. I think it
The
had
music was good.
the Safdie charm and the soundtracking and the editing and the composition of shots and stuff. But the whole time I was just like, what is the point of this? Where's, like, the sauce? I think it was almost more frustrating because it had all of those elements of the previous Safdie movies that I loved, but it lacked that edge. Like, it lacked anything to, like, draw me forward.
Yeah.
And feel that delirious, panicked feeling that I love getting from their movies. I just didn't really have it here because I knew it was a documentary and he came out on stage, so I knew he was doing all right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, like,
and I'm like, why am I just not watching the documentary?
the best part about this movie to me, and even that, like, you know, can argue is just once again impressions rather than like maybe full on acting or whatever, like embodying a character. But Ryan Bader and Alexander Usyk, who are both MMA fighters and come into here to portray Mark Coleman and Igor, I forget his last name.
Yeah, the Russian guy he fights. Yeah,
The Russian guy he fights, yeah. Both great performances. I think
Yeah.
Ryan Bader especially, like, you know, brings all the, I don't know, like fucking testosterone emotion sort of stuff. Like his relationship with Mark Kerr and this kind of like bro down relationship they have, but also it's like very gentle.
Yeah.
And very loving.
Yeah.
It's
I really
two
like
guys who really appreciate and respect each other. Like, I mean, it's a great scene in the movie because it's a great scene in the documentary. But when he's in the hospital after he ODs on painkillers, and just that whole breakdown
Yeah,
of like
that was
him
really
trying
nice.
to joke through it and finally just like losing it and being like, you know, I fucked up so bad and I just want to live, and he'd be like, I love you, man. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna get through this. And giving him a pep talk, like, you know, like he's his coach basically.
Yeah, lots of nice moments, but yeah, they're just all like, you can just see the real moment.
Yeah, you can just see it.
You
for
have
real.
that ability, like you have
There's
that
probably
gift.
a couple things that like were added or whatever, but like, you know, like I don't know if I remember. Probably like maybe the funniest scene in the movie, which is just him after, I think after he wins a fight in Japan and his wife is there. And he's just asking the Japanese doctor if they have painkillers.
Oh yeah,
And he's
yeah.
just like, can you go back and get like anything stronger for
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
And the guy's
yeah.
just like, we have Advil.
Yeah.
And he's just like, do you want some Advil? They're giving them out like candy.
Yeah, there's like lots of nice little moments like that may or may not be in the documentary. But again, it's all just to kind of create like a mimicry. Like
Yeah.
it's not super compelling on its own. It's just in this feeling of like, wow, this was really his life.
Yeah. So it's like the most ridiculous fraudulent awards campaign of all time, and it's probably in fucking work. And The
We'll
Rock
see.
is The Rock. And honestly, like I would kind of love to see it, just because I think The Rock would give the most ridiculous, self-serving, filled with lies, fucking acceptance speech.
Oh man, yeah.
And it would go on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he would do it like mic work in the WWE. And then he'd like set up what he was gonna do next and call people out.
Yeah, it would
And
just
say-
go for the presidency.
And Black Adam might come back. Don't forget about Black Adam. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It would be funny.
Because he's been getting people to ask him about it again on the press tour,
the run
about
for the president?
running for the president, and he's just being coy and being like, "Oh, I don't know, never say never." And it's like, you tried to soft launch that with your fucking TV show about your life that flopped. I know you want that shit, you fucking con artist cocksucker.
Remember, imagine a Schwarzenegger, The Rock double header.
Oh god.
Those are the two nominees for president. It could happen.
American Century of Humiliation.
All right, what's next? Defense. We saw this off the strength. Oh, these are not the right actors.
That is the cast for normal.
No. That was a duplicating slides error. We don't have the cast for this one.
Pretend this is Matt Dillon.
Yeah. Claire Denis, very acclaimed director.
Yeah.
Got to see her latest. It was interesting. The premise is that this guy dies on a construction site in South Africa. Is it in South Africa? Or is it just in Africa? It's just in Africa.
I think it's just now. I don't know. If
Yeah, I don't think it's in
specific.
South Africa. At any rate, it's like a white-owned construction company where all the bosses are expats. And then they have this crew that's all local people. Somebody dies, and his brother shows up to claim the body and is standing outside of the security fence, just demanding over and over again to be given the body. The foreman of the site, one of our major characters, and then one of his kind of right-hand men, who we find out is actually the most responsible for this death. More and more details around the death are revealed. Is trying to get this guy to go away because obviously something suspicious happened with the body. Something suspicious happened with the death that would be revealed by the body. Also, his wife or girlfriend? Wife has just shown up to live with him out here. It's like her first day there. This right-hand man guy seems like a total sociopath, psychopath, drunk, inbred, psycho, British loser.
Yeah.
And basically the whole thing is just this like intense claustrophobic. It was based on a stage play.
Yeah.
So it's never strays too outside this bound. All takes place on this night. This long negotiation and debate about whether or not to surrender the body.
Yeah.
And all this other drama and tension. I don't know. I quite liked it. I felt a little, I don't know, like maybe less affected than I ought to because I just had such a disdain for Matt Dillon and all the other white characters.
Well, I think you're supposed to think they're
Like-
fucking scumbags.
Well, for sure, yeah. Like, it's not like I was meant to be sympathetic towards them, but I just kind of also felt like exhausted by them and like sick of them. And the whole movie, I was just like, I hope a bunch of African men show up and just like gun them all down. And then, which is like, I don't know, like maybe not the way I was meant to feel engaged.
Probably not. It's like a weird thing where like this is probably, I mean, I guess we'll see where it ends up sitting in her filmography as time goes on, but to me it feels like a weaker end Claire Denis movie. But even with it being like a weaker effort from her, there's still like so much interesting shit here
Yeah,
compared to like
just a random movie.
like 3 out of 5 movie from like any other director, basically, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's like interesting shots and like weird staging to kind of mirror the stage play and all sorts of like little details and stuff that comes across that is just like, oh yeah, this is like one of the masters doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very unique, I think.
Yeah.
And just the structure of it, like the way, again, like a stage play, all the characters just sort of like haunt different zones.
Yeah.
Just kind of fall into these encounters that blow up and escalate, and then they just sort of wander around. Felt very like haunting in a way. Like it felt, I don't know, like it felt like a parable, I guess, in that sense that we were just sort of witnessing something symbolic of this overall relationship, of this overall exploitation, which I thought was very cool. I don't know, but yeah, like at the same time, like all this minimalism and stuff, it's like neat, but it does make it kind of feel like insubstantial. Like at the end, just not really that much has happened. Not many moments, not many characters. And so it feels a little disappointing, I think, in that regard.
Sort of, yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we can keep it moving. We got a lot to cover.
It's like a compact sort of drama.
Yeah. Very efficient.
Yeah.
Then we saw Scarlet. This is one I think I was higher on than you.
Yeah, I like this like significantly less than you did. This would have been above Carmadonna, and that's it.
Yeah. This is directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who did Summer Wars, Wolf Children, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Very, very acclaimed anime director. This one is in a bold, is the word I'd use for it, new style.
Yeah.
of CG mixed with hand-drawn, mixed with like photorealism effects of just like using almost video gamey water textures and stuff. A weird barrage where they mix together lots of different styles and resolutions, and all to the effect of kind of Studio Orange style, like hyper-kinetic, hyper-choreographed action sequences, all revolving around this girl who is like a princess and is killed and now is wandering the afterlife seeking revenge, meeting up with a guy who is living in modern Tokyo, who has also ended up in the same afterlife, who doesn't really know what's going on, but resolves to help her out. Yeah. And then they just go on like a quest. And there's fights.
I mean, it's very explicitly a play on Hamlet.
Yes.
It is like a royal child whose father gets killed by his scheming uncle.
Yeah.
Who then takes over the throne and makes everything worse for everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought the animation was cool. I liked it.
I thought it looked really ugly most of the time.
No.
I thought a lot of this looked really fucking bad.
I think it's fascinating too. Like, usually I feel like animation quality, it's not like it's totally objective.
Mm.
But if you talk to somebody about like Your Name,
yeah,
the conversation is usually either like, oh yeah, it was so amazing and I cried and it was the most beautiful story ever, and that animation. Whereas for me, I'm like, I don't know, the plot is like okay, it's kind of stupid, but the animation is amazing. You know, like the animation becomes this sort of like detached, kind of more stands on its own sort of thing. But here it's like specific scenes that I was like, didn't you think it looked awesome when they were up on top of the mountain? And you're just like, no.
It's fucking terrible. It looks like the hot dog shit.
Which is really fascinating to me. I don't know if we've ever been split like this on animation quality or whatever.
Yeah, I guess not.
It's interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely do think it will be a very polarizing style. Like,
yeah, probably.
I'm not surprised that you disliked it, really. I think it's pretty unique and weird.
I mean, even overall, just like the plot and stuff I found tiresome.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel like any of the characters really go anywhere. They're just like trudging across this wasteland, and it's like she learns to trust people, kind of.
Yeah, like the big thing is that it ends up being kind of anti-Hamlet.
Yeah.
That, you know, she goes out seeking revenge. She encounters her father at long last, who, in the opposite of Hamlet, says, don't seek revenge. And then she eventually internalizes that lesson. I would say spoiler warning, but I think it's kind of the obvious direction to go.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is very much just like, let's play out all these beats. Nothing really surprising. Nothing we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I mean, the most surprising thing that I thought did genuinely look good and was like a fun sequence was like the dance thing.
Oh, yeah.
When she has like the vision of living in modern times.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
That was impressive, but like otherwise, I mean, whatever, man.
It occasionally gets like pretty trippy. There's like kind of dream sequences, and
Yeah.
when she ascends up to the celestial realm or whatever. I think there should have been more of that. I feel like they should have just thrown it to the wind and made it more of like a visual smorgasbord, like Paprika or something, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was alright. Keep moving.
See it or don't. I don't fucking care.
Oh, bonus movie.
Oh.
We didn't see this actually during TIFF. They did not, in fact, program Demon Slayer Infinity Castle as part of the festival. But we saw it the day after, so I thought I'd include it.
Okay.
Surprise.
I was baffled.
Yeah, this is a franchise where, in a rare departure for me, I'm only watching the anime. So this was exciting to see the plot continue. You've read the manga.
Yep.
Twice? Oh, yeah, twice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I don't know. I think if you are someone wandering into your multiplex and you've never watched Demon Slayer before and you watch this movie, it's not going to fucking change your mind on anything about it.
Yeah.
You're probably going to leave more confused than when you came in. But I mean, obviously, as a continuation and for fans of the series and stuff, it is very satisfying.
Yeah. It basically is, and this has been my criticism of Demon Slayer for a while, that it's just like training, fight, flashback, fight, flashback, fight, flashback, fight, training, fight, flashback, fight. It's basically the whole series after a certain point. And this is more of that. It's just fights and flashbacks.
Yeah.
But the fights are fucking awesome. Seeing them in IMAX was mind-blowing.
Sorry, actually,
going
they're
nuts.
over animated, and the series is overrated, and it's kind of slop, actually.
They just spam effects. Yeah, the fights are fucking awesome. The flashbacks, it's like, looking at it objectively, I think they're good. Like, they're all well written and compelling and have all the beats they ought to hit. And I see how they work, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's at a point where, like, every character has to have a flashback, you know? Like,
Well,
we're in deep enough now that...
I mean, I don't... You should have learned that by now.
I know, that's what I have. I know it's not going to change. And it's like... It's just kind of getting tiring. Like...
I mean, that's like a thing you should have accepted during the fucking interminable Swordsmith Village arc.
I know, man. I did. I'm still watching. I accepted it. But I do think it's just kind of like... I think it's probably better in the manga. Because with manga, I have a way higher tolerance for just kind of like appreciating something for what it is. It doesn't really feel like... Here, I kind of just wanted to get back to the fights, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. This dude's sad.
I mean, I think some of that is also that, like, this would be like half a season.
Yeah. It's
And so
definitely
this
more
feeling
tolerable
of
in
just,
anime,
like,
too, yeah.
Okay, and then we'll get to the next thing. But instead it's like, oh, in 2 years you'll see the next thing.
Yeah.
And then 2 years after that you'll see the ending.
Yeah. It's going to be a 3-parter, probably all of them over 2 hours long.
Yeah, I mean...
It's 2 hours, 40 minutes, one of the longest movies we saw in the month.
Mugen Train, it had a similar effect to the Harry Potter final movie splitting into 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Where then, like, every teen franchise was doing a part 1 and part 2 for their final movie.
Yep. And here they got to go even further with 3!
And it's just similar to, like, now there's tons of... You know, they have the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie and the fucking Chainsaw Man Rize arc movie coming out. Now there's, like, canon important films happening. instead of just like the One Piece mode of like we make a movie every few years and it's non-canon and it's just like all your friends are here.
It's just a fun standalone adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's entirely because of Mugen Train. They switched gears on that.
Yeah, because it made like
literally $1 billion.
Several billion yen.
Like, and then it became, let's put our absolute best parts of the manga in the movie.
Yeah.
Which, like, makes sense in a way, but yeah, I think it can lead to some frustrations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it is what it is. Like,
it is what it is, yeah. We'll see it eventually.
Industry trends come and go like this. I'm sure eventually already people are sick of it, and I think enough people will voice their sickness of it that this is probably going to be like the only time we ever see a let's finish the anime in 3 movies type experiment.
We can only hope.
I don't think anyone else is going to be that crazy because it's just like not. Also, just like the cultural cachet of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Is just like on a different level to like any other series that's out there right now.
Pretty unparalleled.
It is like a very, like, besides like My Hero Academia, this is like the most normie loved shonen since like Naruto.
Yeah. Especially in the West.
Yeah.
The fact that it's been able to. Like, our theater was packed, man.
Yep.
It was crazy. Yeah. Oh, we'll see in 2 years.
Yeah.
What happens next. Maybe I'll get impatient and read the manga. I don't know. We'll see.
I liked the Akaza fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought the flashback for it is like the best flashback in the series, or like second best maybe. And the upper rank 1 flashback, which obviously is like pretty lore heavy.
See, that's the other thing too.
Explains a lot of stuff.
There's
a lot of mysteries that are still on the table that you just know are going to get revealed in the next movie.
See, it's like this is going to be a tangent, I guess. We should probably keep it moving, but I do like when the flashbacks have more lore implication.
Yeah,
you know, or when they like cross streams with each other, or when it really feels like, whoa, this flashback is being set X number of years ago. I wonder if we'll see why. And there's some little allusion to why. To me, that adds like a lot, you know. And Demon Slayer never has been in for that. They just have little standalone kind of like morality tales.
Yeah.
Usually some heart-wrenching tragedy, and then either emerging from it or succumbing and becoming demon or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of Faustian bargains and the temptation of power.
Yeah. And it's like good, like it hits those beats well.
Yeah, I mean, I think
but it never feels like it goes much further than that.
Akaza flashback kind of bucks that trend, as far as just like he's not someone who was like given this like choice of like, you know, are you tempted by the power? Instead it was just like he was completely broken by his life, and then this just kind of happened to him.
Yeah. It was brutal, man. Like,
yeah.
I was impressed with how far they took it. So the fact that like, and I think this is a double-edged sword. It's like really brutal because like 5 awful things happen to him, but it also feels like very long because like, and guess what? That guy dies too.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Frankenstein.
Yeah. Okay.
The Del Toro Frankenstein. This is one of the big hyped up movies of the festival. I think in the introduction they said this is the hottest ticket of the festival.
Yeah.
To get us hyped. I quite liked it.
Yeah, that was very good.
I think it's quite interesting because Frankenstein, of course, has been adapted more than almost any other story. There's so many kind of like cliches baked into our expectations of it. But this felt very fresh. It felt like it was kind of going back to it as if we'd never seen it before.
Yeah, I mean,
building it back up from basic principles.
Probably, at least of the stuff I'm aware of, the most literary adaptation of it.
I think so, yeah.
And even then,
as far as I know, too.
Del Toro gets caught up in his own romanticism and kind of strays from certain points.
Yes.
But, I mean, in another situation of, like, someone making something who clearly has, like, a little too much reverence for the source material.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I also think it's, like, it's very... It seems intentionally down the middle, like, thematically and tonally and stuff. he never seems eager to make it like too disturbing,
Yeah.
too horrific, too scary. And I don't know if that's like his consideration of like mass appeal or if that's just kind of his sensibility in general.
I think it's more just he has like a very romantic sensibility when it comes to these sorts of stories.
Mm.
And I think like even you go back as far as like Kronos, like his first kind of major feature film is like a vampire story essentially, but like it is very much, it's like aesthetically horror without the horror.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel that's like kind of his whole thing. Like I like Del
yeah.
Toro a lot, but I think there's a reason that like most people point to Pan's Labyrinth
Yeah.
as his best work, because that one he kind of like embraces the bleakness,
Yeah,
and not just the aesthetic.
A fucked movie. Like,
Whereas
it's very uncomfortable.
I think a lot of, especially his work since then, has been far more concerned with aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my favorite from him was probably still Crimson Peak. I like Crimson Peak a lot, and that also leans into some of the fucked upness and, like, nitty-gritty of it a bit. But it is, moreover, just like a visual feast type of film.
Mm.
This is a guy who has a lot of love for, practical effects and set design and lived-in locations and that sort of thing.
Yeah, this movie was great for that.
Yeah, it's very, like, opulent.
All the stuff in his lab, too.
Yeah.
The mixture of, like, the Victorian era opulence and then this depiction of, like, a crazed scientist on the verge of a breakthrough and the distress and madness of his lair and... Oh, lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of really good stuff. Very beautiful movie, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it is, like... There's still someone... This can't be the final word on Frankenstein for me.
Yeah.
There still needs to be someone who, like, takes it, even more by the book and leans into the horror and the grotesqueness and the misery and that sort of stuff. This, like, I think especially there's a lot of trouble getting invested in Victor as a character because of the way he's written. Not that Oscar Isaac is a bad actor. I like him a lot, and I think he's good in a lot of stuff. But I just think, like, the material he is given to work with and sort of, like, the weird line his character half rides throughout the movie as, like, kind of pulling himself towards the inhuman and then giving it all up and then having to go even further and that sort of thing. Like, it I don't know, it comes across very strange.
Yeah, there's no real derangement at the heart of it.
Yeah.
He's never meant to, like, scare you or really make you unnerved or whatever.
Yeah, which I think also, like, kind of creates this weird disconnect in, sort of his relationship with Mia Goth's character, Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's kind of supposed to be, like, she's put off by, like, his weird, grotesque obsession with, like, resurrecting the dead and being, like, a fucking creep. And how, like, strange and, like, against God that is, and how weird it is that she's very into nature and
and
piousness and all that sorts of things. But instead,
she loves the
it's, like,
simplicity of the creature and his naive innocence and...
But maybe this is just, like, it's misogyny fall or whatever, but, like, the way her repulsion comes off towards him just kind of feels like, are you stupid? Like,
yeah, I think they were going for an angle where it's like she is repulsed by him but also intrigued, and she's compelled by her disgust to understand him better, but it kind of just manifests as, like, weird flirting and where you're just like, what are you doing, lady?
It just comes across really, like, weird and hot and cold with him, and it's just like, you seem like you have problems.
yeah. Oscar Isaac doesn't have enough problems, so she ends up feeling like she's got weird problems.
I mean, it's the same deal with, like, his brother. That's sort of like his, like, final condemnation of him as he dies is like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah.
You were helping with this shit the whole fucking time and had no problem with it. And then at the 11th hour, as you're bleeding out, you're suddenly like, maybe you're the monster. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Were you watching a different movie?
Like, maybe that's just my problem, where, like, it comes across, like, so sympathetic to Victor.
Yeah.
In a way where it's just kind of like, you can understand the way he gets pulled into this sort of insanity, and the reason he just like completely rejects it out of hand, and that's like kind of a character flaw of him, but also like I don't know, he just comes across as like he kind of like comes out of the illusion as like I'm just gonna be a reasonable person now, and I'm just gonna act reasonably, and then people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like being completely chill.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that dementedness, that derangedness.
Yeah, like there's no
alienation from him. We're just kind of along for the ride with him.
Yeah, there's no, I don't know, there's just like not an aspect of like true freakness to his character. It's just like, I mean, yeah, you're like kind of a weird scumbag. You're trying to fuck your brother's fiance and then get mad when she rejects you, and like obviously you just like spent a bunch of another guy's money on assembling a band out of corpses. And like obviously it's bad, but it's also like I think that's the other thing, is that like that's supposed to be like an insane transgression, and this really weird fucked up thing, but like the whole assemblage of it is very clean. Like just sort of
like the sourcing the body scene, which has become a very staple scene here, is very glossed over.
Yeah, all the like stuff that's supposed to be really kind of like, oh, this guy's fucked, is kind of glossed over, and then like because the creature himself is like not as it is in the book, like kind of a man who is pushed into evil and eventually embraces evil, but instead just the like misunderstood, tortured creature, as like every Del Toro monster is. That instead just becomes this thing where like, okay, you shouldn't have done that, but you made like kind of a chill guy.
Yeah.
And then everyone's fucked up at you for making a chill guy.
And then I think the most kind of alienating and fucked up aspect of Victor's character is that he mistreats the monster. But that also feels very unjustified, because it feels really out of character when he's like this marvel of science, and you're kind of like, wow, he's doing all this. And then he's just kind of like a dick to the monster.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be like, you know, now you're sympathetic towards the monster, but it felt like very sudden and disjoint, that at first he's like trying to teach it, and then he's like, you're not learning fast enough. And I'm like, what? Bro, you just made this guy. Like, aren't you still kind of impressed by that? Like, why are now you're just mad that he can't read or whatever? Like,
yeah,
it felt really weird.
Whole, like, thing is just this kind of strange whiplash, because he's just like not deranged enough for that to come off as like a natural progression.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
Mia Goth's whole fascination with it, when it's just like this gross, rotting creature in a basement, that she's like, you're the most pure thing to ever exist.
That's one where I feel like what Del Toro is seeing and what I'm seeing must be very different.
Yeah.
Del Toro is also seeing that with hearts in his eyes. Being like, imagine there is a guy that was dumb, but he used to be dead. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff. Like, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's like really solid.
Like,
really well
impressively done. But it was just, there's so many like little things that I was just like,
why?
This is not reaching its full potential.
Yeah.
And it's all just like Del Toro-isms, basically.
Yep.
It's like, he has a very romantic view of everyone in the story.
Yeah.
So then, like, no one gets to be the villain, really.
Yeah.
And, like, even the final conclusion, which completely deviates from the book, is instead this, like, beautiful moment of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Understanding between Victor and the creature.
It didn't really make any sense.
This final, like, you know, I guess for a movie that in some way a lot of the themes are around like father and son relationships, kind of coming to a head of like, and I've accepted my role as your father.
Yeah, it's
just
like,
before
what?
I pass on.
So, okay. But yeah, it's a Del Toro movie for better and worse, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Next we got Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out 3.
Yeah.
The premise here is that he is investigating some murders that happened at a church. So it's like a satire of modern Christianity. Sends up a lot of kind of social issues around that, which I found interesting. And if you don't put a stopper in me, I can rant about for a long time. Because I feel very emotionally invested in a lot of that stuff. But basically, yeah, that's like the set dressing for this one.
Yeah. I thought This is definitely not. I wouldn't say an overcorrection because I enjoyed it, but definitely is like trying to move in the opposite direction of Glass Onion,
Yes.
where that was full comedy and full just like absurdity and poking fun of rich people and all this stuff. That instead it's like, pardon me, far more serious and like tries to be a lot more empathetic
Yeah.
towards a lot of these characters that are still
Really
figures
kind
of
of
mockery and
yeah,
derision
still
and are still kind of
caricatures.
caricatures and extreme whatever, but it's like trying to be a lot more grounded.
Yeah, definitely trying to get back 100% to things that people said, well, the first one had this, but Glass Onion didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, how about 100 of all of those things?
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say, yeah, it's not quite the sweet spot. I don't think Glass Onion was the sweet spot either. I think the first one is closest to the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want them to just do the first one over and over. So it's a tough spot to be in. Like, they're kind of suffering from success, I think, in trying to figure out how to really repeat this. But I mean, it's not bad. Like, I really enjoyed it. I had fun. The mystery was compelling. The twists were compelling. It's shot very nicely. The settings are all really nice. The performances are great. It's really, really funny at points. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really have many complaints per se.
It was a very bold decision to like hold off on bringing in Daniel Craig until like half an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
To not just let him chew scenery the whole time, but instead kind of like pull back for a second and focus instead on Josh O'Connor's character and Josh Brolin's character. This is like the second movie this year where Josh Brolin is really good at playing like a big fucking asshole.
Yeah, he was great in this.
Yeah.
He was a real fucking asshole for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's another just like great ensemble cast. Glenn Close, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, fucking Thomas Hayden Church.
Oh, yeah.
It was great to see him. I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
He kind of got buried a bit, I think. It's just sad. No, I don't know. I think, for me, yeah, the shortcoming is that it felt almost sort of transparent in trying to at once... Because there's also kind of like an escalation happening with all these movies where you have to out-twist the previous one.
Yeah.
You know? Like... And this, I think, is a challenge that all mystery series have to do, where the readers or watchers or whatever learn the tricks and then start to anticipate the tricks, so you need to go one further. And I think the mix of that, just the amount of convolutedness in the end, the number of in-on-its and not in-on-its, and all the belabored... And then, but it turns out I had planned for that, but you didn't know this. Like, it's impressive. It's, like, very technically impressive. But I think it undercut the intimacy they were also going for.
Yeah.
And the empathy of, like, Glenn Close delivering this very vulnerable explanation.
Yeah.
But it's, like, this, like, half-hour long, insanely complex story. And it felt kind of like really trying to have their cake and eat it too on that. And I'm almost feeling like just get excessive. Like I feel like trying to retain the heart and intimacy that made the first one, I think, the best. You know, the whole character of the nurse and the you were a good nurse. It was the double swap and really, really nice stuff. I don't know, maybe you skip that and just go for excess.
Yeah.
And just have all sorts of twists and cool shenanigans and surprises. I don't know.
Well, I would say Glass Onion was going for excess.
For sure, yeah.
And that sort of thing, I don't know.
But I think this had even more complexity than Glass Onion.
Yeah, this was more
layers and...
looping it on itself and...
Yeah.
Reveals and counter-reveals and...
And again, it's like really impressive.
Mila Kunis gets to do cops react.
Yeah. And then the Christian themes I thought were pretty interesting, because it really is interesting for me to see a movie that is like, okay, we're gonna do like a send up of modern American Christianity and all its hypocrisies and all its unchrist-like things. but we're also going to have like the good Christian boy who is an embodiment of the real teachings of the church and is super sympathetic and
Yeah, I mean,
genuinely tries to help people.
I thought that came across well as him as the counterbalance to like the sheer amount of like opportunism and fanaticism and just all sorts of like different mental sicknesses coming into play, and why, you know, sort of the supporting cast has found themselves so dogmatically obsessed with Josh Brolin's character and his sermons and whatever, to instead have this guy who's like really about it.
Yeah,
And is like, was genuinely like taken off of a dark path by this stuff and is like appalled at what he's seeing.
I appreciated that. I think that's like underdone.
I think Josh O'Connor was like the right actor for it too.
Yeah, he was really good. He's a very likable actor, I think.
Yeah.
In everything I've seen him in. At the end of the day, though, and this is where it could become a whole tangential rant, and I don't think it needs to be, because we still got a lot of movies to cover. But it's kind of like the Mark Kerr documentary, where it's like, we'll show you the good and the bad, and then the bad is like still extremely nerfed, and the bad is like a caricature of the bad, you know.
Well,
and then
I think that's
it creates
kind of,
this kind of like false.
That's sort of it. Is just that the bad is played for laughs. More
Yeah,
than anything,
yeah.
like with the young black Republican character.
Yeah. I mean, it's
just,
funny.
like,
It's
as
it
cynically
works.
as possible, exploiting this entire parish for his like completely failed political career.
I like too that he like pivots from his political career to making YouTube content, but
Yeah.
it's also like very reasonably unpopular.
Yeah.
It has like 20 views. It's like my YouTube channel, you know, like where it's not like he's a YouTube star. I thought that was like a nice touch of very grounded realism, you know?
Yeah, well, I think the whole, I don't know, one of many mysteries at the center, but that whole proposition and relationship between, what's his name, Psy?
Yeah, Psy,
and
the influencer.
Josh Brolin's character
Yeah.
is like very funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's because like they obviously have the scene early in the movie where you kind of meet each principal character in the parish,
Yep.
and like he just runs down how he's like the most failed grifter of all time.
Yeah.
And has tried like literally every Republican grift and none of it took.
When he does the barrage of all the different talking points.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
And then that just to come up later of him being like, and you know, what you say here is so powerful. I could make you a political star. And it's like, no, you fucking couldn't.
Yeah.
You fucking suck at this.
It's all like a fake scheme. Like it's all
Yeah, like I thought that was like a funny detail that they don't really like throw in your face too much, but you can just kind of pick up on. Mm-hmm. Is that like everything he's selling makes no sense because he's a self-admitted like complete washout of like one of the easiest times in history to become a political figure.
Yeah.
Like, it has never been easier to grift the American people if you're right wing,
And
he still can't do it.
I think that's kind of what I mean, though. Well, first off, there's just kind of like a discussion of Catholicism and like what are the real evils of Catholicism, and then what are the staged evils of Catholicism in this movie to motivate a plot line.
Yeah.
And the former is like never touched on at all, of course.
I touched on. I get it. It's actually quite horrifying.
It is. And then also just this idea of like, yeah, it's relatively small scale. Nobody involved is like famous. Mm-hmm. It's just an incident that Daniel Craig takes personal interest in. And it's like, I think that feels a little nerfed and neutered to me, because it's like all of these guys are just kind of ineffectual losers, and they're just little symptomatic things of some truly, truly great evils in America. But it's like, those are the great evils of America, and where, you know, Psy stumbles because he's a failure and a washout and an idiot, and where Josh Brolin can't find the right balance to actually build an audience, and none of the grifts are working, and the author that's trying to write a book about him is never going to finish it, there are like successful versions of all of those in America.
Yeah.
And they're like ruining the world right now. So it just feels very like pat on the back, kind of like softball, to be like epically owned.
I mean,
you know, like
that's kind of all of these movies, though. It is just like
the like Musk parody in the previous one.
Yeah, I mean,
gets epically owned.
It's all just liberal bullshit.
Yeah. But I think the
price of admission.
The difference, I guess, is that in previous ones, it's not like they presented the counterbalance. Whereas here, it's kind of like the good message of Christianity wins out, and now there's like a proper church, a welcoming church that teaches the right message, which is like just too much of a self-serving fantasy, I think.
Yeah.
Compared to like Glass Onion, where they just blow it up, and it's not like a good tech billionaire comes in and is like, "I'm gonna do things right." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, that's kind of the difference. And then I've got my own things with Christianity. I can talk about Christianity all day. We don't need to go much further than that. But that's why I think, to me, I'm just like really nitpicky and digging into like, okay, what is this actually saying?
Yeah, I get that.
All right. On to the next one. No Other Choice. Park Chan-wook, a crazy comedy, social satire kind of thing. This guy with a family in South Korea is laid off of his long-term job in the paper industry. Desperately seeking a new job. He comes up with this dark and twisted scheme to literally eliminate his competition by murdering other people that he researches and finds might outqualify him for jobs, so that he will be the last good candidate standing for this really good opportunity.
Yeah.
Great premise. As soon as I learned that was the premise, I was very excited. Overall, great movie. I think really well done. Really funny. My problem is kind of it just feels a little excessive, a little bloated, and I think this is also probably symptomatic of watching like 25 movies in such a short duration. That
kind of, but a lot of them I didn't feel the length. In this one, I definitely was kind of like,
here? Still got an hour left. Like, there's a moment early on where he's got like 3 big targets on his hit list. Target 1 is eliminated, and I was just like, oh my god, there's gonna be like 2 more thirds of this movie.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh my god.
It felt like the movie could have ended there.
Yeah. I felt like it would. Like, it felt like it was building up to it, that it was very complete in that point. And lots of really great stuff happens after that, but it really did feel like that could have been it. And I will say, and I hate saying this about movies, but I think it would have worked well as like a TV show.
Yeah.
Like the rhythms of it and the structure of it and the number of times you can have that very like exciting climax finish onto the next adventure. I don't know. I think that was how it felt to me, which was my biggest detraction from it, and pretty much everything else I loved.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't exactly the movie I was expecting. Like, I didn't know how funny it was going to be. I don't think really Park Chan-wook has done any movie that has like leaned this hard into being like an overt comedy. And I think, I don't know, it was weird. Like, he didn't work with his normal writing partner for this. I think he just wrote it by himself, and you can kind of tell because there's kind of an unfocused quality to it. And like, at the same time, it is like a very modern movie.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I think he like taps into a lot of like modern male neuroses and like the kind of stuff that like can make you insane purely because the internet exists.
I really liked a subtle recurring thing. He's got a daughter that has some sort of autism or something.
Yeah.
That she very rarely speaks, and when she does, she's just repeating something she heard somebody else say. But all throughout the movie, our main character is also just repeating things he said earlier.
Yeah.
Like, not exclusively, obviously, but time and time again, in the middle of, like, an argument or when trying to convince himself of something, he has all these little like mantras that you see earlier in the movie him pick up.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just such a great like spotlight on this type of character, that he's like almost getting like programmed by this hyper competitive society to like disregard normal programming and focus on this insane, inhumane project he's come up with.
Yeah.
Through these like weird repetitions, through this echoing.
Yeah, all coming back to like these weird like affirmations exercises that him and all the other people at his company who got laid off in this merger are made to do.
And then we see throughout the movie other people doing those very exercises.
Yeah.
To kind of show that, yeah, this is almost like a virus, that all these poor unemployed people are just left with these stupid phrases to repeat while tapping your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of really, really great stuff like that, I thought, in the writing.
Yeah.
Just very little subtle callbacks and kind of set up completion moments and stuff.
Yeah, good understanding of modern male ego.
Yes, yes.
And obsessive cuckold fantasies.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, too. It's like each one of the people that he has to kill kind of represents like a set of fears for him, right? Like
Yeah.
a potential future where he never gets a job and he's useless and his wife is cuckolding him, where he fails to be a good father or is desperately trying to be a good father but is working at a shoe store, you know, like this life of loneliness and indulgence and all these like different things that he's trying to kind of tear himself away from by literally killing the person that he sees in that position. Yeah, it's really good in that regard. That's like a really nice kind of dark social outlook.
Yeah, I mean, that's like where the writing is the sharpest and where he like, you know, the skill is still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you know, a total misfire or anything. I did enjoy it, but it is like belabored by itself.
Yeah, I think unfocused is a good word for
Yeah.
it. It could use a hearty edit or to become a TV show. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say about it. There's lots of little things I liked.
Yeah, I don't know. I was more into Decision to Leave, his last feature.
That one was also crazy.
That was also far more in his wheelhouse.
Yes, like
in terms of just like crazy thriller, insane woman,
and desperate cop,
incredibly desperate man.
Cop makes all bad decisions. Great genre.
He's very good at portraying, or I guess not portraying, but you know, writing.
Yeah.
Very desperate men who are pushed to the edge of society, and like that's also intact here, but you can just tell there's something a little off, and I think a lot of that comes down to the screenwriter not being present.
All right, The Furious.
Yeah,
this is one of the midnight movies we saw. Basically, it is the stunt choreographer of the raid.
I believe so. Yeah.
Decided to make his dream action movie.
Yeah.
Got all of the leading talents of martial arts movies in this generation from Thailand and Indonesia
and Japan,
America, and basically, I think you described it really well. It's just a kid playing with action figures, and smashing them all together. I had a really fun time. We watched this at midnight with a great audience. People were super into it. Pretty insubstantial, I guess I'd say. Like, the plot is very flimsy.
Well, I mean, the plot is like, I don't know. My major complaints about this movie, despite enjoying it, is that it is essentially just like incredibly derivative of the things that he idolizes, like the raid, and that, you know, that comparison is kind of enhanced by the fact that he has Joe Taslim and Yayan Ruhian in it.
Yeah, who are great.
who are both great in the
Just
movie.
treasures of martial arts, for sure.
And Yaya Nurhian specifically is used, like, incredibly in this film.
Yes.
As, like, the final boss, the super boss. Like,
Yeah.
he shows up at the start and just, like, fucking murks someone with a bow and arrow, and you're immediately just like, this is the most fucked fucker to ever exist.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't really appear again until it's time for, like, the final fights.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, great sense of power scaling in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, as soon as you're throwing terms around like that, you've kind of taken a path away from normal cinema
Yeah.
into the realm of anime and stuff like that. But I can enjoy it. I love Battle Shonen.
Yeah.
We're just talking about Battle Shonen. This kind of feels like a Battle Shonen.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's still sick. Like,
Yeah.
That's the thing, is if you're gonna imitate something, you should just imitate the Raid.
Yeah.
Like, spiritually, that is very correct.
I remember we talked about the choreography. That the choreography is a lot less, like, brutal than the Raid.
Yeah, it's far more over the top and kind of like... The Raid had moments of flash and stuff, but it was usually kind of like reserved for the highest power level characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's the most, like, ridiculous over the top stuff is saved for the final Mad Dog fight.
Whereas most of the time it's, like, brutal efficiency.
Yeah, a
and
lot of just, like, very gritty stuff happening.
And then
Whereas
it can
here,
escalate to that.
there's never really a point where it's especially gritty. It's always just, like, really, like, cartoonish and extreme and, like,
Yeah. It's almost
doing
like
the most.
like wuxia kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
it feels
the
far
characters
closer to
are
that, despite,
almost supernatural in how they fight.
despite very nakedly taking, like, shots and set piece ideas directly from stuff like the Raid.
Yeah, so it's a weird mix.
Yeah.
That the setting is, like, brutal and gritty, but
Yeah.
then the action is, like, peak Chinese martial arts, like, superpower fighting. But I mean, you know, like, I think that's, like, not really a problem. Because it's still really fun. Like,
Yeah, it's not like and the movie sucks. It's just like, oh, well, it's not as good as it could be.
yeah. It's just that it's like the weirdness of that juxtaposition kind of bogs it down, but then all of the elements themselves are, I think, very strong.
Yeah.
I think the only part where it kind of grated on me is they do this, like, multi-parallel plot shot long sequence of the kids escaping.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And it's, like, cutting between trying to hold off the bad guys and a couple fights, and then the kids, like, rappelling down from the building. And I just was so sure that, like, nothing bad is gonna happen to any of these kids that it started feeling a little tedious. And there I was just like focus in, you know, like,
Yeah.
just say, hey, the kids got away. We don't need anything really besides, like, having a few heartfelt character moments. I think is great. You know, like, I felt for the guy. His daughter gets kidnapped. The other guy, his wife gets kidnapped. There's your two.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a few scenes establishing that and getting you a little connected to the characters. But, like, trying to build, like, action scenes around that aren't martial arts, but still try to have that same, like, super tense suspense, that's where it kind of floundered for me a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's trying to do a lot.
Yeah.
And it succeeds at most of it, but it does kind of, like, buckle under the weight a little bit.
Yeah. It's another one
Is
a
to be
little
expected.
unfocused.
It's just, like, very, very, very ambitious.
Yeah. And, well, it's like one of those dream projects, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to go as big as possible when you assemble this level of talent, like the fucking Avengers of modern martial arts films.
Yeah.
To create your dream martial arts project. I mean, you have to just do the most.
Yeah.
So, I get that. I mean, like, for me, the stuff that kind of, like, left me cold a little bit was just, like, the whole... It was very funny. But the whole kind of reveal of, like, the true villain and that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Where it was, like, the first bit of, like, true... Like, there's obviously
These are the people holding the strings.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
obviously been a lot of violence in the movie up until that point, but this is the first moment of, like, actual, tangible, like, bloodshed, basically. And it was just the most, like, huh?
Oh, yeah. He ends up stabbing his pregnant wife.
Yeah, when the guy who's like the kind of like basically the reveal is that like there's been a kind of dark money network of older businessmen that he's serving who are not pleased that he was running like a child trafficking ring, and he's just kind of like, well, why do you give a fuck where you make your money? And they're like, well, you're fired or whatever. And he goes postal and fucking murders them all.
Yeah.
And then in his murderous rage, his wife comes in and is like, what's happening? And he stabs her in the stomach.
Oh, no!
And then it's like, oh, shit! And it was just like, whoa, what?
Yeah, like, that got a lot of laughs at our screening. I don't know if it was supposed to.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
I think it was supposed to be, like, shocking. But it was just so over the top. And then for the rest of the movie, he's like, you guys, you're the reason my wife's dead. And I kept laughing at that, too. But, like it's absurd, but I don't know if it's meant to be funny. Like, I don't know. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again.
Cool movie and great midnight movie.
Yep.
It's a thing you want to see in the theater.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of fun. Alright, Easy's Waltz. Next up.
Which doesn't even have a poster.
Doesn't even have a poster. Very early in its distribution attempts, I think.
Yeah.
This is directed by one of the True Detective guys.
Yeah.
His first movie.
I think so, yes.
Starring Vince Vaughn, who worked with him on season 2 of True Detective.
Yeah.
Simon Rex and Al Pacino in this kind of like threesome cast where Vince Vaughn is a lounge singer in Vegas. His brother is his agent, trying to finally get him a break after he's been doing this for like a decade. But then, boom, he does miraculously get a break from Al Pacino, who's like a veteran of the scene, and rockets him up to superstardom. But then his brother kind of being a little left out in the cold, or feeling left out in the cold by this, and this whole other thing about a woman. The whole thing starts falling apart at the seams, and maybe flies a little too close to the sun. It's that kind of story. Very, very archetypal Vegas story. I really liked it. I really liked Vince Vaughn in this movie.
We're like the only people that like
big Vince Vaughn fans. But yeah, this one did not get a warm response. This is one where I don't know. I was kind of surprised that.
I think it's like kind of
polarizing,
indicative of sort of the split of the TIFF audience, where like in terms of the actual in the room reception, people were very positive on it.
It felt like it, yeah.
But then
people were
like,
laughing.
If you go to Letterboxd, then the people who saw it who also used Letterboxd were like, "Oh, this is stupid. I'm supposed to believe Vince Vaughn's good at singing."
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much all the complaints came down to that.
Yeah,
like either in part, but building to that, or just in whole that Vince Vaughn is quote unquote not a good singer. So the whole movie to them seemed like a vanity project where he's convinced he can sing, but he can't. And that, yeah, that's like ridiculous on the face of it. But I literally just don't think they understand the type of singing that Vegas lounge singing is.
Yeah.
Even though, like, in the movie and then in the Q&A after, they, like, explained what this is and what kind of role it has in Vegas. And it's this, like, very unique thing of just live music in Vegas has, like, a very kind of specific niche, you know?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I don't know, he's not, like, technically amazing, but he sings with character and to relate himself to the audience and to give an intimacy to the room, you know? And I think he's good at that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a dad movie.
It is a dad movie, yeah.
It's like a total dad movie. I mean, like, Al Pacino, late career in a role where he mostly just has to sit down.
Yeah.
Like...
and goes, nah, I can't do a Pacino. But I was gonna try. but yeah, just kind of issuing vague statements and making vague proclamations of,
yeah,
I'm gonna make you into something, kid.
And then a lot of like, I'm gonna fuck you up if you fuck with me, and
hot and cold,
pathetic sort of mob boss.
It plays a lot of stuff like straight, you know.
The fucking little drummer boy sequence is like one of the craziest things I've seen in a movie this year.
That was wild.
Like having the balls to put that in your film. Vince Vaughn lounge cover of Little Drummer Boy over Simon Rex doing like wide scale fraud.
and shot in black and white.
Shot in black and white.
With crossfades into... Because, yeah, Simon Rex kind of gets a chip on his shoulder. He feels like, you know, now that his brother's in the world of the big dogs, he's like a little emasculated, I think.
Yeah.
So he tries to defraud Al Pacino. And it does not go well for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really bizarre juxtaposition. I guess it's meant to have this sort of like wistful tragicness that you're witnessing the downfall.
Yeah.
But Vince Vaughn is having this wonderful little Christmas moment with his crowd.
Yeah, it's odd.
Very odd, very odd.
But I mean, Simon Rex is so great in this movie.
Yeah, he is really good.
I'm so glad he gets to have work again and isn't just the scary movie guy.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
It seems like that's just kind of like what made his career dead in the water for like a decade, was that like no one wanted to hire like the third build scary movie guy in the scary movie sequels.
It's not a prestige role, that's for sure.
Yeah, but like, you know, I mean, between this and like Red Rocket, way more, obviously. Like, this is a guy who was like legitimate fucking talent, especially in playing kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I liked his archetypal dirtbag character.
Yeah, and
you just saw it all coming.
He's like a dirtbag with a heart in this one, as opposed to Red Rocket, where he's just like the worst fucking scumbag of all time.
Yeah.
He's just like a deplorable person, and here he's like,
he's got principles.
There's like, you know, a great thing I think about sort of how the script shakes out is that you can see that ultimately there's not actually that big of a difference between him and Al Pacino as people. Al Pacino just has power.
Yeah.
And that's really all it comes down to.
But they're both petty about the same things.
Yeah.
They both make moves when they feel emasculated, even if it doesn't really make sense. And then Vince Vaughn is kind of caught in the middle. And I really, really liked his character too. It felt like very loving. It felt like Vince Vaughn really like loved the character of Easy.
Yeah.
And wanted to make him super sympathetic and super likable. And normally that sort of thing can grate on you. But here it like worked. I don't know why. I just really liked him too.
Yeah.
I just was like happy for him. I wanted to see him do well. I felt bad when things fucked up for him. Like,
he's just a cool guy.
He's a cool guy, man.
What's cooler than a 50-year-old Vegas lounge singer?
Oh, baby.
Doesn't know how to talk to women.
Yeah. I'm gonna get out of marketing. How about we head out west? Got a new career in mind for myself.
No shot. I am not moving out there. Are you fucking joking?
Yeah, nice. I hope people give this a chance. I don't know.
It feels like the kind of thing that's just gonna end up on like Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And your dad's gonna watch it and be like, "This is a great movie," and you're not gonna believe him. But like, I don't know. There's actually something here.
I'll tell my dad to watch it.
Only to us, apparently.
Only to the real Vince heads.
I got a comment from a guy who had like a Star Wars username, telling me that like this movie sucks, and we like clearly saw the different things,
which is crazy to me.
And it made me so mad.
I think it's like this may sound weird. Going into a negative review of something you like and trying to start shit, totally acceptable.
Yeah.
That's just some good old internet time wasting. Going into a positive movie of a movie you hated and trying to shit on it, it's like you're just like walking around the street with your pants down.
Yeah.
And being like, like come on. No.
Yeah,
go to bat for something you like. It struck me as very pathetic when you told me that.
Yeah, it was just stupid. I didn't get it. Whatever. Easy's waltz.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, keep trucking?
Yeah, we can keep trucking.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's talk about Dust Bunny.
Yeah.
This was a Midnight Madness selection that we didn't see at midnight.
Yeah.
Directed by Brian Fuller, who's Breaking Bad, man.
That's Vince Gilligan.
he's another TV guy.
He said Mad Mikkelsen.
He does get mad in this movie.
He doesn't get that mad. He gets terse.
Yeah, he gets terse, yeah. He doesn't go, "Arr." Brian Fuller, he is a TV guy, right?
Yeah.
Pushing Daisies.
Yes.
And something else.
Hannibal. With Mads Mikkelsen.
Right.
It's the whole connection there, and I think how a lot of this project came together.
Yes. This is a weird movie.
Yeah, it's like a children's horror film.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how, like, PG-13 it was going to be.
It's PG-13, but it's, like, classic PG-13.
Yeah.
It's, like, Gremlins era PG-13.
Yeah, it does feel spiritually sort of from a different era.
It's got a little edge to it.
Yeah.
There's some pretty grotesque things that happen. There's a couple swears. But yeah, it's definitely, like, sleepover core, and I'm all for it because I feel like that genre has really kind of disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, like, stuff made for kids is just franchise slop.
Yeah.
So just this being, like, an original movie and, like, the horror genre with actual people in it, actual work being put into it, and a lot of really creative ideas, I thought. It also inherits the style of, like, Spy Kids and Dr. Seuss movies. Just that kind of, like, hyper real, cartoony.
Yeah.
It's not really the real world, but it's weirdly gritty at times too. And the premise here is that this little girl is beset by the dust bunny that lives under her bed, which keeps eating foster parents that take her in. And she's desperate to do anything to get rid of it. And then she sees Mad Mikkelsen, who is a... I call him Mads singular again. He's a hitman, and she witnesses him take out somebody, but doesn't really understand what she's seeing, and so then tries to contract him to kill the monster under her bed.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues. Sigourney Weaver is like his handler.
Yeah.
She's hilarious in this.
Yeah, she's really great in this. Looks great too.
Yeah.
She's like 73 or something. She looks amazing.
And I don't know, it hits all the right beats. It's like heartwarming, it's funny, it gets scary, it gets action packed.
Yeah.
But nothing too much. Nice balance. I don't know. I was very, very pleased with this.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like a very charming movie. It's maybe not what you expect from the guy who made Hannibal, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was great. It was super fun. Mads Mikkelsen, you know, this is definitely more. I mean, we'll talk later about a character that's not really in his wheelhouse, but this is definitely his comfort zone as far as especially American movies go.
Yeah.
And sort of what he's cast as. Stoic,
Badass.
Yeah.
With some quirks.
Yeah.
Who is often put on the back foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really good in this, I think. Even though it is very much just doing what he ought to performance.
Yeah.
It really works. Yeah, I don't know. I hope this movie does well. I think this could have like kind of a cult following type audience, you know?
Yeah, I feel like a thing that in like 20 years kids are going to be talking about is like
whoa,
a thing they saw that scared them when they were little.
Yeah, I remember that scene in Dust Bunny?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. I don't know. Only good things to say about this. We're in the territory of only good things to say, basically. Keep moving?
Yeah.
All right, next important film.
Film of the moment.
Which, originally, if you watch our picking out movies for TIFF video, we didn't select.
Yeah.
And then we're called a coward. And defector from the cause by a friend of ours. So we went, all right. We had a slot free for that time anyways.
Yeah, we weren't seeing anything at all on this day originally, so...
So yeah, very, very important movie. Going back to this meme almost of us calling things important movies.
Yeah.
But obviously it's depicting kind of the birth of Israeli occupation and colonization in the modern era.
Yeah.
The British doctrines that allowed them to settle en masse there, and all of the conflicts and tensions and ultimately violence that erupts from that. I will say, like, it didn't, even though it is situated like that this is something we really need to, like, consider and think about and understand historically in our present moment. It felt very focused on just being a complete, entertaining, good movie.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. It wasn't just, like, teaching you. But it had story and character and suspense and conflict and a nice arc and stuff.
Yeah.
The meta around this movie was interesting. It had, like, a 10-minute standing ovation after.
Yeah, that was exhausting. I don't know.
Just clapping, and then chanting, clapping while chanting, and then simmering down to just clapping, and then chanting starting again.
Yeah.
Pretty endlessly. Which, like, I can totally get behind the cause, but is interesting to witness.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of reaction that it gets because of the current moment we're in politically.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
I thought it was a great movie, obviously, but also it was just kind of like looking around like, we're really doing this, huh?
Yeah, we're still doing this? We're still clapping?
Thought we just had like a whole conversation about how the voice of Hind Rajab getting a 22-minute standing ovation at Venice was like stupid, masturbatory, and just people patting themselves on the back for thinking watching films is activism.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And here, clapping is activism.
Yeah.
If you stop clapping, you're a betrayer to the cause. I remember having a moment of concern, because right after this, we had our appointment with the Criterion Mobile Closet,
Yeah.
which you can see on the channel, our visit. And I was like, what if we just clap until after the appointment and we can't go in?
Yeah.
But I can't be the one to be like, guys, we have to leave. Stop clapping for Palestine.
Yeah.
We have to go buy DVDs. You have to stop clapping. So that felt awkward.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, the whole circus around this festival with the road between us, the ultimate rescue.
Yeah.
This, like, Zionist propaganda documentary from Barry Average.
Yeah.
Whose claim to fame is, like, doing a Harvey Weinstein documentary before all the bad stuff came out about him.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, this is a kind of controversial figure in Hollywood. And then doing a follow-up that was like, well, I didn't know all of that stuff. And we're supposed to take him seriously as an artist, apparently. This guy who also was on the TIFF board and is like a major donor to the festival and somehow got this fucking movie in. People's Choice winner for Best Documentary.
Yeah. So that all happened. That's kind of like a shadow looming over this year's TIFF for sure.
And then fucking Cameron
Protests
Bailey,
around it.
who
And then,
completely,
yes.
completely mishandled that whole situation and got played by the Zionist lobby, basically.
Yeah.
Then moderating the Q&A for this film.
Yep.
And being like, it's an important film. And we're presenting both sides of the dialogue and, like, all this other liberal bullshit. And I was just like, fuck you, man. I fucking hate you.
I did have a moment where I recognized in him such a profound crisis of, like, genuinely not knowing what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
In the middle of the long standing ovation, the Q&A times are pretty strict.
Yeah.
You get, like, 20 minutes, maybe?
Roughly, yeah.
And then you're out of the theater because they gotta show something else. And I knew in his head he was weighing the PR disaster of Palestine 36 does not get Q&A, which looks terrible, and Palestine 36 standing ovation cut off by CEO. And I could see on his face, like, trying to figure out. The gears are, like, turning in overdrive.
It's like a Larry David level situation.
Yeah. So that was very funny to me. So yeah, eventually he said, we got to get to the Q&A.
Yeah.
He was basically like, look, we're not going to have a Q&A if you keep clapping.
Yeah.
I know you guys want to have a Q&A. And then the Q&A, I thought he also was very strategic. No audience questions.
Yep.
And then just down the list, let's have every actor on stage say how they prepared for the role.
Yep.
which is like lowest potential something controversial is going to be said environment.
Yeah.
And there was still a guy that was like, the message of this movie is not to trust Zionists. And everybody cheered. And then he went, and that goes for today too. And everybody cheered. And I was like, I think we got that, but, based. That's... so yeah, that was the whole kind of circus around this movie.
Yeah.
The movie itself depicts a group of Palestinian people dealing with the effects of all these settlers moving in and the British colonists trying to impose order and divvy up land and stuff.
Which, ironically, now, Trump's Gaza peace plan that involves installing British politician Tony Blair as like, the new fucking chancellor or whatever of the region.
Full circle, dude.
They're just doing it again.
They're just doing it again. This is just, it's the same colonial game plan over and over and over. Install somebody who can also be a scapegoat if needed.
Yeah.
Let them run the fuck wild. And then go like, oops, we'll install somebody to moderate the situation.
Yep.
It's been playing out for like 100 years now.
I mean, it's depicted in the movie.
Yep.
That's how long it's been going on. I mean, Jeremy Irons... He's great in the movie, and also sent in, he couldn't be here in person, but sent in like a video that played before the film that was there's a genocide happening.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought it was cool just because like he's old, so you never know what old British people are gonna think about stuff.
Imagine his video message was like, I play the hero of the story.
Yeah.
A British man tasked with a difficult situation.
I mean, Liam Cunningham is also in this movie who has like become extremely outspoken, especially on Twitter, about everything happening in Palestine with the genocide and the aid flotilla and all that sort of stuff. So it was cool to see him pop up as well. Just like old pro-Palestine British guys who are coming in for.
It's what you got to do.
Yeah,
it's how you can make the biggest difference if you're an actor or something. I think. Make a long-lived good performance in something like this. I really like this one because it shows a lot of nuance among the Palestinians, among the British people.
Yeah, I mean it's a very
internal conflicts and
very wide sort of.
Yeah, there's a lot of different storylines going on.
Especially, I thought one of the most interesting parts of the movie is just the like Arab socialite couple.
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, one of them, like, poses as a man in order to get her works published as a journalist. And then her husband, who's part of, like, a Muslim men's association for rich guys, basically.
Yeah.
And they, like, come into conflict a lot. And, like, they also, because they're, like, rich people who live in the city, are then also sort of intermingling with, like, British officers and colonists and stuff. Like, it's an interesting dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not monolithic at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good because, like, it's so easy to paint these things. Like, okay, this is what I like about it. It's not monolithic, and there's a lot of nuance, but there's no nuance around who is in the right.
Yeah.
And how much of an atrocity this is.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, and that's kind of like a hard... It's not like a hard line to depict, but, like, a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't have the trust in the audiences. To be like, well, this Palestinian is sort of a jerk, but they also don't deserve to be invaded.
Yeah.
So normally, if you're going to make a movie like this, you have to present it as just like a monolith of good, where everybody is virtuous and kind and innocent. But it's a lot more like interesting, and it feels a lot more like real, and you feel a lot more like emotionally invested in what's happening because there's such a spectrum on both sides of characterization.
Yeah.
Which I found really compelling, yeah. Lots of good, like, every little story has, like, a nice arc to it, nice twist to it, nice big moment of conflict, and then just anti-catharsis after anti-catharsis, where everything goes the way you know it had to, and it just kicks off this long chain of colonial violence that's going on today.
Yeah.
Powerful, painful movie.
Yeah, it's like a hard watch if you have, any fucking empathy in your heart at all for the human condition and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
because you just see, I mean, you see the birth of it, basically. You see, it's like, that's maybe the most interesting decision, is to show Zionism as this, like, completely faceless force.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the one zone you don't go inside of.
Yeah, they, like, barely interact with it at all, but it's just this, like, ever-present threat that keeps growing as the British government keeps partitioning off land to be sold to them. And, like, giving away more and more of the country under the guise of some sort of fucking balanced rule or whatever. That was one of the most, like, well-observed parts of the movie, is that the, like, good guy on the inside of the British colonial rule just, like, gets mad and gives up and leaves.
Yeah. That felt very, very real. And you just know that all throughout history are these well-meaning people that genuinely have a heart and can genuinely see the tragedy and are so powerless and get so disenfranchised and
I don't know,
so
me,
disillusioned.
The most telling is when push comes to shove, rather than stick their neck out fully, just go, fuck it, it's not my problem.
Yeah. I'm going back to Britain. This is a mess. Figure it out. Yeah. Powerful stuff. I like that they, I don't know, they made it exciting and stuff too. Like the depicted on the lower half of the poster, all the rebels that are attacking infrastructure and trying to slow the invading force and stuff. They didn't shy away from showing, like, the heroism of that, and it's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Showing people who kind of were originally trying to be neutral get radicalized into that.
Yeah.
Because of being treated like fucking dirt and like they're not human in their own country.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Heading into the top 10 with a weird one.
Yeah. A TIFF classic.
A TIFF classic, showing a restoration for the first time. This very strange movie, Nadja, which I think I noted this in my Letterboxd review. It's like the opposite of the Frankenstein movie, where it's a total modern reinterpretation, parody type thing. This is your classic Dracula narrative, but it's playing out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Among a bunch of kind of disaffected, kind of, I don't know, it's like an archetype of that era. I don't know what you'd call them exactly. They're not hipsters yet.
No, not yet.
They're not hippies either, obviously. Just the kind of like Gen X washout type, you know? The vampires start invading and turning people, and our main character's uncle is Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Destined to fight the vampires, but
he's like a fucking weird... It's like a very... He's Peter Fonda, and it's like the weirdest Peter Fonda performance you'll ever see.
Yeah.
He's like so strange.
And yeah, it's in this modern context, he's just your crazy uncle.
Yeah.
That's going like, the vampires are real, but he's right, the vampires are real in this case.
Yeah, but for most of the movie, they're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's got like a really weird kind of chill vibe. The soundtrack is very like shoegazy. All shot in black and white, and then occasionally using pixel vision.
Yeah. Which
was like a kid's camcorder that, when shot at a distance, makes everything like very blocky and chunky. Really exaggerates shadows. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Very, very neat effects. And yeah, just this whole little vampire drama plays out. It was... I found it, like, pretty funny. We weren't getting a ton of big laughs in the screening. It was a lot of just kind of, like... Huh? Like, what?
Yeah.
And kind of befuddlement. And then afterwards, the director came out and was like, by the way, that was a comedy... Maybe I should have told you guys at the start, like, please laugh at this. Yeah, very quirky, strange little movie. Co-produced by David Lynch.
Yeah,
I think you said that already.
Fully bankrolled it.
Yeah. Appears in the movie briefly.
Yeah.
It's a security guard who gets vampire mind tricked.
Yeah.
Great little shot.
Good friends with the director in the 90s, 2000s era. He lost contact later on, but then in the last couple years of his life, David Lynch, because he financed it, had the rights to this movie, was like, "Oh, you want that back? Sure."
Yeah. Oh, you want to do a remaster? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's all the licensing. Yeah, the Q&A after I thought was really, really great.
Yeah, it was like the best Q&A I think we've ever seen at the festival.
For sure.
Had tons of great stories about working with David Lynch, about making the movie, about, the whole process of trying to get a distributor.
It was really casual, really intimate.
Yeah.
It had a sense of these guys just kind of reminiscing, these old friends that had made it. And then, yeah, getting into, like, the technical details, too, of how the pixel vision worked and when they chose to use it and what effect they tried to get. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed this one. This was
cool.
Such a pleasant little surprise. I don't know. I don't know if too much to say about it. It's kind of neat seeing such a low-budget movie at TIFF, too.
Yeah.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, well, this is a movie that originally premiered at TIFF in, like, fucking 1994 or whatever.
Yeah, early 90s.
And then them being able to bring it back in the 4K was a cool moment as well.
I liked in the intro, the director was like, I was here to premiere this movie at TIFF 30 years ago. I don't really remember anything of that day.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really remember what happened with the movie playing here.
Yeah, I thought that was very honest. It reminded me of, I saw the band Moom, and they were like, well, we played Toronto before a long time ago. I think. Did we play here before? Has anybody here seen us play Toronto before? I just like that very, like, honest, not, like, faking it, like, and I had the best time. I was so eager to come back to Toronto. Yeah, good stuff.
Hey.
All right, number 9. This one.
I didn't even see.
You didn't see.
Because I was sick, so.
Yeah, Cole woke up sick that day. This was, like, an early movie. So he ducked out and joined me for movies later in the day. But I watched this one. New Linklater movie. Where are you going? Oh, he's blowing his nose. New Linklater movie about the creation of Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. Shot in a way that kind of pays homage to Breathless, but only sort of, in this very freewheeling, loose depiction of the freewheeling and loose direction of Godard, who famously would show up each day without any scripts, without any shooting plans, without anything being conveyed to the actors, and just kind of wandering around going, how about you go into the phone booth and we'll shoot you in the phone booth? Okay, let's head into the cafe. Here, do you mind being in our movie? Can you do a scene where you sell him a newspaper? And just carrying on in this, like, totally madcap ad hoc way, causing all sorts of stress and concern from the producers. But then, of course, we know the whole time that Breathless turns out to be one of the foundational masterpieces of the French New Wave. He pulls it off. I don't know. I thought it was really, really fun. It has, again, a total reverence for its subject matter. It wants to portray these guys as charming and so mysterious with this kind of bizarre riz to them. But I found that, like, really compelling and really fun, and I was down for that kind of, like, hagiography. Another weird quirk is that pretty much every name you can think of in French New Wave shows up in this movie, has a little cameo, and every time a character appears, they shoot them first head on with, like, a title card at the bottom showing who it is. It felt, like, very Wes Anderson to me.
I feel like a Yakuza character intro.
Yeah, like, it was this weird diegetic break, but it was exciting because I recognized a lot of those names. Varda shows up, Demi shows up, for, like, 1 second each, but it's just like, whoa!
Isn't Bresson show up as well?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Rossini is in it quite a bit. I'd say the biggest knock you can have against it that I saw in a lot of the more negative reviews is, like, kind of like, what's the point? It doesn't really say anything about Godard's work. Kind of the whole joke of the movie is that you have no idea why this could be good. You just know that it ultimately is regarded as good. So there's no real, like, kind of interesting philosophical digression. There's no real commentary on film itself, more just the lives of these people that were involved in films. We talk about Godard's critiques. We talk about his life in observing film and the careers of his peers. But it's all very surface level. But I was okay with that. Like, that's the kind of thing that often bugs me in movies. But here it just felt so fun and fresh and flowing that I didn't mind it. I don't know. You enjoy it? Watch it sometime, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably watch it because I like Richard Linklater.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd plan on going. But
yeah.
Alas. All right. And number 8, The Last Viking.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this right before Carmadonna, our other Mads movie, where the premise is pretty crazy. These two play brothers on the poster, Mads and Nikolai Lee Kaz.
Yeah.
The brother is a kind of thug gangster. He like robs a bank or something. He entrusts his brother Mads to stash the money away up near their parents' old house, so that when he gets out of jail, he can go and retrieve it. We time skip. He does get out of jail, but Mads plays some sort of character with mental issues. It's not entirely clear what all is going on there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting role for him, especially in terms of like how he's portrayed in Danish cinema often, which is as a stoic hero.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, you know, a comedic lead sometimes, but like a manly one.
Yeah.
Whereas here he is like a mentally disturbed man who thinks he's John Lennon.
Yes, so yeah, the brother pieces together that at some point while he was in jail, his brother, who was already not well, suffers some successive breakdown and now is convinced that he is John Lennon and will only be addressed as John Lennon. And if he's called his real name, Manfred, he will jump out of a window or try to self-harm in some other way.
Yeah.
So how does he figure out where the money is hidden when John Lennon doesn't know? How does he break him out of this and get Manfred back and convince him? And this leads to a real cornucopia of plot lines and strange characters and escalating chaos. And I wouldn't really even know where to begin summarizing it. You start learning all of this strange, tragic backstory that the brother also is repressing things and isn't totally in touch with reality, and it gets pretty intense and pretty serious, but for the most part is just like an insane comedy.
Yeah.
And the comedy stuff worked really, really well for me. Some of the more intense and serious stuff I was just kind of more baffled by, I think, than anything. But yeah, overall, I really like this one.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
I don't know, it's really weird. They strike a really weird balance tonally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially we saw, he didn't direct it, but he wrote it. Anders Thomas Jensen, the last film he made, The Promised Land, which also starred Mads Mikkelsen and was like a pretty straight up historical drama about like, you know, Danish royalty in the 1600s or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mostly centered around Mads Mikkelsen's quest to fertilize a barren land.
Yeah, it's very like frontiersman sort of thing.
Yeah, but like really by the book.
Yeah.
Very, very, very different than this.
Yeah, this is so out there and strange and like the whole joke of just like they're trying to bring together several mentally disturbed people who think they're different members of the Beatles.
Yes.
To create a Beatles cover band.
So that
and
they'll
see if that'll somehow snap them out of it.
Yeah. Like, great premise, really. It's so insane, but I think there's so many clever elements to it. Like the urgency of breaking him from the spell and the open backstory that explains him having this condition and all of the characters you can kind of like throw in the mix. Like, he was really cooking.
Yeah.
Again, maybe a little unfocused It just goes in so many different directions with so many plot lines.
But it all comes together.
But it all comes together nicely, yeah. Really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Normal.
Man.
This was our grand finale, the last movie we saw. Great movie to end it on, I think. Nice and short.
Crowd pleaser.
Crowd pleaser. So much fun.
Yeah.
Premise here is Bob Odenkirk is kind of a serial temporary sheriff that he does these short gigs in small towns where basically nothing happens, and he's kind of living his own miserable life, recent divorcee. He shows up in this town, Normal, which just looks like another Midwestern shithole town. But slowly he realizes that this town harbors a dark secret. And then as soon as he does, the movie like flips a switch and it goes from this kind of slow burning, very down to earth kind of social satire thing, which I was already enjoying.
Yeah.
Into just total chaotic madcap action.
Yeah.
Really violent, really excessive. All sorts of hilarious things happen. Just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. I love this one.
Yeah, this was my second favorite of the festival, I think. I probably would have it even higher than you have it.
Yeah, yeah.
This was just like so much fun. It was a great way to end the festival, and like Bob Odenkirk is so fucking great, and to see his like weird fucking career trajectory
yeah,
from like Mr. Show and Tom Goes to the Mayor and Tim and Eric stuff to like then the whole breakout with Breaking Bad into Better Call Saul, and then now this kind of third phase where he's like a old guy action star.
Yeah, because he was also in
Those Nobody
movies.
movies.
Yeah, which I think are kind of similar to this.
I think they're more like John Wicky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one
kind of feels like it's in its own zone.
Yeah, this one, the way they did the action, I thought was very unique.
Yeah,
where it's impactful and excessive and exciting, but like I don't know, like in a way it wasn't that cartoony. It's kind of cartoony. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it felt like it had a sauce of its own. I think the way it just kind of comes out of nowhere too, and just keeps ratcheting up. I was very impressed by.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like escalates and escalates and escalates and gets more and more insane. And it never feels out of control. It never feels like out of the scope of the movie.
There's also, I think, maybe my favorite scene of the movie where I don't want to get too much into the plot because I think all of the surprises of this movie and the surprises in the plot are really, really great.
Yeah.
But basically, the chaos gets so insane, and then they come up with this like last ditch scheme to kind of just set everything right. And this is kind of where the title drop happens.
Yeah.
That he goes, look guys, this is going to be the new normal. And they basically just have to pretend that like nothing happened. And I thought that was like hilarious, and just all this contrivance and stuff. And then just the way that lasts like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it just like completely blows up. Doesn't work at all. And then it's just back to madcap violence. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, this movie's cool.
Yeah, try to see it. I hope it gets a good wide release. I think this was a great one to see in theaters.
Yeah, it feels like another movie my dad would like.
Yeah, I told my dad to watch it. Magellan. Slow cinema. Let's do the slow cinema dance. Slow cinema dance. This is a almost 3-hour long movie, which is a short film in the career of Lav Diaz.
Yeah.
A Filipino director who does these very wide-reaching, ambitious, kind of like social observance movies. Probably the most iconic is Evolution of a Filipino Family, which just looks at the lives of this Filipino family over decades and just like a long rolling slice of life. And it's 10 hours long. And I think to greater or lesser extents, all his movies are like this. Just very methodically plotted out, long looks at character studies and stuff. Here, he takes that same kind of slow cinema style, and applies it to the story of Magellan, the first person to circumnavigate the world, trying to find an alternative route to the Philippines, what they called the Spice Islands back then. Basically, if he took the conventional route, he was subject to all sorts of ports and taxes and straits. So he had this honestly kind of harebrained scheme to just go the long way around. And I think typically this is a story that for a long time is depicted as sort of like heroic and wow, he was a brave explorer.
They really didn't think he could do it.
Mm-hmm. And then now, of course, there's kind of a decolonial mindset of like, well, this guy was just a pillager and a rapist.
Yeah.
Well, he maybe personally wasn't a rapist, but his crew ran around pillaging and raping and forcing people into Christianity and basically doing all of the colonial bullshit. So this movie definitely has much more of that judgment. But what struck me is that it is actually like very neutral in its depiction. It's just showing the voyage.
Yeah.
It's just showing the miserable lives on the ship. It's just showing these interactions between him and the villagers. Again, this is kind of like how the slow cinema style operates. It's not like narrativized for you. It's not honed into a particular reading. It just kind of like lays bare the story. I loved it, obviously. I have it very high up. I was very transfixed. Very hypnotic, beautiful movie. It's getting all sorts of buzz and acclaim and stuff, which is exciting.
It's the Filipino selection for the Oscars this year.
It also is receiving some of the most bizarre marketing I think a film in this mode has ever had.
Yeah.
Where they're just filming TikToks of Lav Diaz and the crew doing like weird viral type TikTok dances.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite the phenomenon. I don't know.
How to get the youth engaged, I guess.
Yeah. All your Zoomer friends are going to be out watching slow cinema.
Not likely. Yeah, I don't know. I like this a lot. I thought it was funny. This was like steady stream of walkouts every like 15 to 20 minutes of this movie.
People just kept hitting their breaking point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where either works for you or it doesn't, and it's like there's so few scenes, and every scene is very long.
Yep.
And really sits in itself, and has a lot of dead air. I think people just at various points finally had enough.
Yeah.
Not us.
We stuck it out. But yeah, at a certain point, I think it becomes undeniable that this is what the entire movie is going to be like.
Yeah.
What's funny, too, do you remember Michael's comment?
What?
He said, I don't know how to say this without sounding pretentious, but I really do think it could have been like 2 hours longer. That was his chief complaint, is that it should have been 2 hours longer.
Well, he's a true slow cinema believer.
He is.
I'm a slow cinema novice, so this was a nice non-intimidating length for me.
Same, yeah. I'm not trying to steal any valor here. I've watched some Bellatars, but I haven't watched Satan Tango. The realm of the big dogs is still beyond me. This is a nice sweet spot for me. This is a length that I found it really compelling all the way through. But if it was 2 hours longer, I don't know if I could have hacked it, especially in the middle of a festival.
Yeah, especially in a festival, it's impossible to want to see something that's going to take up like 4 hours of your day.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it turns out this was actually meant to be like 9 hours long.
Yep.
Shot in black and white, as most of his movies are, and focusing much more on the character of Magellan's wife, who appears occasionally in these sort of like dreamy interludes where Magellan imagines her being on the ship or on the island and talking to him. I think that was meant to be like hours and hours of that as well.
Yeah.
But he was convinced, for the sake of this being an awards contender, to cut it down to 3 hours. So maybe eventually we'll be able to watch True Magellan.
Oh, the real Magellan.
The real circumnavigating movie.
The Diaz cut.
Another interesting thing about this movie is that it actually does make a somewhat controversial historical claim,
Yeah.
where basically there is a historically accepted account of Magellan's death that was reported by the other sailors and stuff, and that he is taking, again, this sort of decolonial perspective on it and comes up with an alternative thesis where basically rather than the islanders kind of like betraying Magellan, they were just kind of scheming for his downfall the entire time.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting, and I didn't really grasp the depth of that while I was watching because I'm not that versed in it, but reading Wikipedia and stuff after, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of like provocative in that sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. A very bold artistic statement, especially, I don't know, to reward people who spend the time with the movie and actually accept it on its terms and think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
To kind of go like, maybe it wasn't like, oh, well, he met some people who were like, Christianity seems cool, and then just like some crazy asshole killed him, but instead they were like, oh, we don't want to get fucking colonized, like...
Yeah, let's trick him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, extremely subtle and understated, though, so even in the scenes where that's being depicted, it just kind of feels, again, like you're observing aspects of life and not like, oh, this is the pivotal moment that is the total kind of disconnect from history. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Beautifully, lusciously shot when it's on the islands, and then when it's on the ship. It really drives home the idea that being on one of those old sailing vessels for like months at a time was
just like
the worst hell.
Mentally destructive.
It really is so painful, all the scenes of just the boat creaking and creaking and sitting out getting bleached in the sun and starving. Oof. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the top 5. Silent Friend.
Yeah, you like this
I loved this movie.
way more than I did.
I love this movie. This was another one I was quite excited by. Tony Leung,
Yeah.
one of the OGs, and the premise really stuck out to me. It is basically about this big ginkgo tree growing near a German university, and 3 slices of academic life, one back around the turn of the 20th century, one in like the 60s, early 70s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think 70s.
And then one in the modern era, over the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And about 3 academics who have kind of a connection to the tree, more or less strongly. There's kind of another plot line of a growing intimacy with the tree and with plants in general. But just showing like an episode in their lives of different slices of academia. And my feeling is that for me, this was like well acted, well written, well shot, really beautiful. Maybe you'd agree with all that stuff. Mostly. But then also
relatively well written.
All the stuff about academia and all the stuff around the studying that the characters are doing and the experiments and the mysteries of plants, I found super, super compelling on like just that level, you know? Which maybe a swing and a miss for you.
I mean, fucking plants. I don't know, like, I think my big gripe with the movie is that it sets up a lot of different plot threads and conflicts throughout its sort of 3 timelines, and then just kind of at the finish line goes, who gives a shit? Really all you care about is the fucking trees.
Yeah!
I was like, what was the fucking point of all that other shit then, man?
Well, you're not wrong. And I think that's actually something I really like about it, is that it shows just like a season of their lives.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, a lot of stuff is sort of abbreviated. There's no real answers to what will happen to these characters. there's no real major conflict either. There's just kind of like little sprouts of conflicts
Yeah.
that either just kind of get resolved as soon as they start or go off ambiguously.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest conflict in the Tony Lung segment solves itself for no reason.
The janitor guy, the security guard, just kind of gets along with him.
Yeah, the janitor
After?
guy just like is like, fuck you and your stupid tree idea.
Yeah.
And then just the next scene, he's like, actually, your tree idea is awesome. And I was like, what?
He felt bad. And, I don't know. I liked that. I like that it wasn't on Tony Lung to do anything different. The security guard, I think, just recognized that he was being a dick and felt bad.
I guess.
And then tries to make amends.
I don't know. Just the only connective of that scene is just Tony Lung, who's like clearly viewed as a crazy person, asking his assistant to get him new tree gear, and her just being like, "Well, I'm not going to do that," and then
yeah, I thought that was
just
great.
like solved for him. It's like, okay, I guess.
Well, it's like he's continuing on. Yeah, like he's kind of distraught, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be doing a seminar on infant intelligence. But then COVID happens. He's basically stranded at the university. He's not teaching. I don't know why they're not doing virtual classes, but whatever. They haven't figured that out. And then out of just like boredom and because it starts to pique his curiosity, he starts experimenting on the tree. And I think we're meant to see that as kind of like bittersweet. And basically, yeah, his grad student like abandons him.
Yeah.
Because she very reasonably is like, I'm supposed to be helping you with like human experimentation. I don't care about the tree. This is not what I'm getting paid for. Goodbye. And he's left still very lonely, and all he really has is this weird relationship with the security guard and his experiments on the tree. I like that. It just kind of fades out. Because to me, it's like the movie is from the perspective of the tree.
Yeah, I think that's kind
And
of what you're going for.
It's like they come into contact with the tree and we see what we see, and then they just go on. But the tree remains. It's the silent friend.
Yeah.
It's the title.
Yeah, I understood that.
I don't know, yeah, this is really my kind of movie. This did a lot for me.
You get to see Tony Lung's dick. I thought that was cool.
That was very cool. Tony Lung does get totally naked in one scene.
Yeah.
And we see everything. Alright, I'm fine with moving on.
Okay.
The Palme d'Or winner.
It's also one you liked way more than I did.
Yeah. Well, you liked it up until the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't one where I was like, various elements pulled me out of it. It was just that I thought they tripped over themselves at the finish line.
Yeah, and I kind of feel that way too. I just think it was like maybe I think the movie up until then was even more up my alley than you. It gave me one of my favorite things in all of movie watching, which is like the giddy, stressful feeling that I get from watching like my favorite Safdie brothers movies and stuff, where it's just so absurdly tense and so like maniacally tight, and you're just being pulled along relentlessly. I love that feeling so much.
Yeah.
So I was like just gleeful, and then the ending was what it was. I think I'm quite sympathetic towards it because basically it feels like the director cashed in all the good work of the movie up until then to kind of just have like a cathartic fantasy for himself and for all other Iranian political prisoners that were in his position.
Yeah.
And I do think that results in a weaker movie. I do think that that's like an instinct you should try to curb when you're producing art and try to manifest that maybe a little more subtly. But I think he earned it. Like, I think he does cash out on something he had built up, which is the quality of the rest of the movie. And it's like, damn, man, he really was like a political prisoner for years and years. He really did go all through all that shit. I can forgive him a little indulgence where he gets to just be like, we made the captor of us super scared and pee his pants in fear because he's a little baby and he's weak and we're strong and we're awesome. You know, like
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it was just already a powerful political statement of like the trauma that, you know, being political prisoners of the regime can inflict on people, and the idea of just like the premise of the movie is that.
Oh yeah, we didn't say it.
We kind of should explain that before I guess we get into dissecting the ending. Is that this guy who like was once held prisoner by the Iranian regime works in some sort of like garage, basically.
Yeah.
And this guy with his family stops in the middle of the night and is like, "Oh, my car broke down," and he hears him moving around and hears this like squeaking from his joints from a prosthetic leg he has that is the same sort of squeaking he heard from his torturer when he was in prison.
Where he was blindfolded.
So he doesn't know his face or who he is or anything, but he just remembers that sound.
Yeah.
And so he tracks this guy down and kidnaps him.
Yeah.
And then...
But he's not sure that it's the guy.
He's not certain. He, like, goes to bury him alive, and then the guy is like, "It's not me, it's not me, it's not me," and it, like, plants the seed of doubt in him, and then he kind of has to go around finding other people who were also prisoners of this guy and try to get help and try to get them to help determine if this really is him and what he should do about it.
Yeah.
And it's just this like slowly building powder keg of paranoia.
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, the most interesting part of the movie was when I was working in the mode of just like,
is it him?
They truly might just have a random fucking guy.
Yeah.
Because they're just that fucked up about it.
Yeah, yeah. Just this parable of dragging around literally the body of someone who might be your tormentor.
Yeah.
And opening all these wounds and re-aggravating all this conflict and not even knowing if there is any reason for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I thought was so poignant and so like heartbreaking in a way. Like,
well, yeah, I thought it was all great.
Just that
and then
ambiguity.
In the second to last scene,
spoilers.
In the second to last scene, they throw it all away and just go, well, it was actually him.
It was him. He admits it.
And he deserved it. But they're going to show him mercy also.
Yeah. I did like, though, that the reason he admits it is because he realizes that they are going to show him mercy, even if he admits it.
Yeah, I think he understands that, like...
And he's right.
It basically doesn't matter.
And he's right, yeah. And I thought that was very well observed, too.
Yeah.
That, like, that is the kind of asshole that is a torturer for the regime. Like, that he immediately switches from denial to taking advantage of their compassion and their humanity.
Yeah.
Like, I thought elements of that scene were still actually very compelling.
There
but
were,
it
like,
does
aspects
become
of it that works, but it feels like it just undercut what I was enjoying about the movie.
Yeah.
Because also I feel like even the like final moments of like he's like back in his mom's house and like helping out and whatever, and he just hears the squeaking again.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit much.
Tortured by that.
Yeah.
I was like that. Once again, to me, plays off way better if it's just like, and we just let this guy go without knowing.
Yeah. It might be the guy coming to arrest me, and I'm right back to the prison camp. Or it might just be some other dude with a prosthetic, or it might just be that guy we kidnapped.
Yeah, or it might just
who's just some random mook.
Or it just be I'm just hearing that because I'm paranoid.
Yeah. But the fact that we knew it was him and that he was out there, I think did really undercut that final scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I still really, really loved it.
I mean, all the character writing is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I mean, like... all the fucking
Hamid.
Yeah, all the arguments they have.
Amazing character. I love too how long it takes before you understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I had read the premise, I guess this wouldn't be the case. But I think very, very deliberately, all the way up until the first scene where he's meeting with one of the other former political prisoners and he's explaining what's happened, you don't know who the hell this guy is, why he just kidnapped this random family man, what he's trying to do, like, who he thinks he is, why he's so mad at this guy he thinks he is. You don't know if you're on this guy's side or not. Like, that ambiguity I thought was so great. And just, like, all the little moments where he's, like, planning the kidnapping, all the like, crazy physical logistics of, like, having this semi-conscious dude in the trunk.
Yeah.
and figuring out how to just, like, move him around and trying to find all these people and all the things they're up to in the day that they're disrupting. It just, it has such a perfect type of just, like, this crazy clockwork tension.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's still very, very well crafted, but yeah, I don't know, just that little decisions at the ending kind of left me cold.
Yeah. You can see why it wasn't the Palme d'Or, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because for the Palme d'Or, that's kind of like bonus points.
Yeah.
Where not only that, you're like, and you're helping out a good cause.
Yeah. I mean, also, it was interesting reading interviews with the director and that the idea of the movie was born because he's been imprisoned by the regime twice. And the first time it was an experience kind of described as the characters experienced it, of like, you're kept in sort of these like separated rooms, and anytime the guards have to interact with you, you're blindfolded so you don't know their faces. And he goes through all that. But then the second time he was in Gen Pop, and he was just surrounded by all these different dissidents who had fought the regime in different ways, and were all just like constantly bickering with each other about like who had the best ideas and who was the most correct, and like who deserves to be here and who doesn't, and all that sort of stuff.
And that really comes through in the movie for
Yeah.
sure. Like, they're all comrades, and then it's not like it shies away from the fact that they have that deep camaraderie. Like, I thought that was very well expressed in the movie. But it also is largely about, like, they can't get along, and they have very different ideas about what they should be doing at any given time. Like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me to hear that, because I hang out with politically like-minded people all the time. What do I do with them? Bicker, bicker, bicker. All right. Top 3. Left-Handed Girl.
Yeah.
This is a Taiwanese family drama. This single mother of 2 moves to start a noodle stall, and it's just kind of this extended slice of life drama where we follow her life and the lives of the 2 daughters as they kind of get interwoven in this society. Various kind of troubles emerge. It's kind of a family and then something bad happens, but it's also like a family where bad things have already happened.
Yeah.
I love movies like this. Had just like this very well balanced emotional tone. Produced in part by Sean Baker.
I think also co-written by Sean Baker.
And edited, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And I really felt a lot of that.
So is also like
a
long-time
she works with
collaborator.
him. Yeah.
So this was kind of like, I don't know, cashing in those favors.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to help me with my project now.
But that energy kind of comes through,
and
too.
It's very, I think, similar to his movies. It's like, the mother is like a well-known actress, but like, the 2 daughters are like, the teen daughter was like scouted off of Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think the little girl was from like commercials.
Yeah, she was just at commercials.
So both more like amateur quote unquote actors, which is definitely in the Sean Baker mode.
And very, very, very well used.
Yeah,
I thought both of them were phenomenal.
Both of them were great.
Oh, and the Q&A after, the kid was so funny.
Yeah, the kid was adorable. She asked everyone before they left to vote for the movie in the People's Choice Awards so they could share an award with the crew.
So nice. But yeah, really great mix of kind of like slice of life in this night market where she runs the noodle stall. but then really kind of naturally tentacling out to like her mom is running this visa scam where she's helping people get smuggled into the States. The title refers to the grandpa having this extremely orthodox disciplinary thing where the youngest daughter can't use her left hand. That's the devil's hand. But then this escalates that the daughter then thinks everything she does with the left hand is because of the devil, so she starts shoplifting. A plot line around the older daughter working at this... What are they called? Betel Nut, which is... I didn't know about this until I was looking it up after. In Southeast Asia, there's this like mild drug called the betel nut. It's kind of like chewing tobacco, I think.
Yeah.
Just get a little buzz off of it. And there's these stalls where they sell them, and then they always just have like young, attractive women wearing very little clothing that are betel nut girls. So she's a betel nut girl, and then there's kind of a prostitution side to this too.
Yeah.
So you see that kind of slice, and just this whole kind of like menagerie of plot lines that all end up interweaving in really, I think, very clever ways. And Johnny,
the goat, a guy who is in the stall next to them in the night market and just sells like as seen on TV products.
yeah, he's so fun. All accumulates in this very dramatic birthday banquet scene, as many of these Chinese and Taiwanese family dramas do.
Yeah, all the secrets and long-held beliefs and family discord all comes to a head all at once.
Everybody airs their grievances. It's very cathartic, very intense. I loved it.
Yeah, that was great.
I don't know if I have anything bad to say about it.
I thought it was really good.
I'm excited to watch it again. I'm excited to see more of this director.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more stuff like this.
I gotta say, at the start of this movie, do you remember the very, very opening of this movie? They're driving to the new house, and the little girl is playing with a kaleidoscope, and it felt like so like twee. And I think this was also like the third movie we saw or something.
Yeah.
And I instantly had this sense of like dread where I was like, I totally misjudged what kind of movie it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like really sappy and twee and cutesy and whatever. And it was going to be all about her like rich imagination. And it was about that, but it was about a million other things too.
Yeah.
And I just had this feeling of like, man, one of those movies sucks, and then like every movie we watch sucks. But then it was so good. All right, number 2, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. What's number 1?
I don't even know what this is about this.
You'll be surprised.
Okay.
This was definitely my most anticipated movie.
Yeah.
We've been big fans of these guys for a long time now. Local Toronto comedians who had a web series and then a series on Viceland about the characters Matt and Jay, self-titled. They are a very, very amateurish band that is recording a documentary about themselves. And their dream in life is to play a show at the Rivoli.
Yeah, which is like a small Toronto like bar venue.
Yeah, it's like not a big venue or anything. They just like live across the street from the Rivoli. And it's like the type of comedy on display here is genuinely unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's very like dialogue heavy and like witty and bantery with this kind of like rambling improv type of dialogue. It also has like real world interaction elements where they would just go out into Toronto and film this stuff, and then when passerby would interact with them at all, they would just run with it.
Yeah.
Incorporate them into the scenes. But then there's also crazy surreal elements. This movie is about time travel. A lot of the episodes of the show have like supernatural things going on, or just like crazy genre parody. There's one where they're in the sewers and it's like Indiana Jones. One where they're robbing a bank. Spy thriller one. It's like nothing else. And,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love it. And everybody should go watch all of it. And the movie lives up to the hype.
Yeah, 100%. It is the most Toronto movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like both in the modern time and also when the time travel happens. And all of these like old Canadian artifacts.
Yeah.
Like Q with Gian Gomeshi billboards and
It's funny because we started this video talking so much about George Stroumboulopoulos.
yeah.
And now we're talking about who I've always thought of as like the evil twin of George Stroumboulopoulos,
yeah.
Gian Gomeshi, who was canceled. If any of you American watchers don't know,
Yeah.
he was a Canadian media personality, and what did he get canceled for?
I think he was a rapist.
Oh, okay.
Or
Yeah.
sexual harasser at the very least, but I think he was a rapist. There was like that was like before the era of Me Too as well. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
bad enough that it like
It broke through.
broke through the veil.
But yeah, there's a really, really funny scene. I think you said was the funniest thing in the entire festival,
Yeah,
where the moment they realize they're back in time is when they see an ad for Q with Gian Gomeshi.
yeah. Well, that's like one of the things that clues them in. The moment that it like actually clicks for Matt is he goes into the paradise to watch The Hangover
Yeah.
Part 1, which of course was a new movie at the time they've time traveled to, and everyone laughs really hard at the paging Dr. Faggot joke.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
looking
yeah.
around like, wait a second.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, just like really ambitious madcap plot line where it feels like they really wanted to do something bigger and better than any of the TV episodes.
Yeah, they wanted it to feel like a movie.
Mm-hmm. And it really does.
You know, Matt Johnson had to build up his director cred and do the Blackberry biography film.
Did you watch that?
No.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
you'd
I
enjoy
don't
it,
think
yeah.
like it was, you know, he made slop.
But yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever, but, like, you
it's,
know, he had to
Establish himself as
establish himself and make that, which Jay McCarroll did the music for.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, convinced people at Neon that he should be allowed to make this.
Yep. Oh man, they just do it all.
Yeah.
The movie basically starts with them jumping off of the CN Tower, and I think that's emblematic. What's more Toronto?
What's more Toronto than that?
And what's more thrilling? What's more cinematic? Yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about the movie. It's cool to see them too.
Yeah.
And they showed up in grand style, jumping out of the time traveling RV.
Yeah.
So they parked out in front of the cinema, did a great Q&A after. Just some of the friendliest guys I've ever seen.
Yeah, they were
in
super
entertainment.
excited to like interact with all the fans and say hello to everybody and all that stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, go see it, man.
Yeah, go see it. It's,
Phenomenon.
it's making the circuit around America right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you think is number one? Can you remember?
Nope.
Da-da. Da-da.
Oh,
Yeah, we saw Jaws.
right.
50th anniversary of Jaws. They were
4K
doing screenings.
restoration.
I don't know how I couldn't picture putting this anywhere besides number one.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the perfect movie.
forgot because it was classics program.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not like I just assumed you forgot we saw it and not like, oh, this is number one. Like it's kind of obviously number one.
Well, yeah, it's like one of the best blockbusters to ever exist. So
Maybe like the best. Like what would you rank above it?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just because we saw it recently and seeing it in theaters and stuff added a lot to it, but I think it's like my favorite of this mode, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, Spielberg's the fucking master, and like, I hadn't seen this since I was like 9 or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it scared the shit out of me. My dad had to just like spend an hour explaining how all the special effects worked to me, for me to not be just like completely mortified, because I was just like, that shark just fucking ate a guy. That's fucked.
That real shark ate a real man.
Yeah.
And you showed me that for some reason.
You showed me a snuff film.
I think it does actually hold up pretty well, special effects wise.
Oh, it looks great.
Which is really impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Because they don't shy away from, like, showing you the shark, like, biting a dude in half.
Yeah, they show the shark a lot.
And that's normally where it would be like, well, that's just a cheap animatronic or whatever. But it looks so good.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what can you say about it? It's been discussed to death.
Yeah, I mean,
Blueprint for all modern movies.
Canon best movies ever made.
Works on so many levels. So many great intricacies to the script, I think.
Yeah.
So many, like, little scenes that had more depth than I remembered, too. Like, the scene where Robert Shaw is talking about his time stranded out after his battleship sunk.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, like, so chilling, and they're just so content to just revel in that whole sequence of them getting drunk on the boat and swapping stories and the way it escalates. It's like, man, we just don't do that anymore. Like, they would never trust the audience to care about that. But here, it's just, like, such a intimate, deep moment that says so much about, like, American culture and who this guy is. And oh, man, it's so good. It's so good.
I think the big thing that kind of has come from the legacy of this movie that none of its imitators have been able to get the balance right on is a lot of people want to just rush to the part where they're hunting the monster.
Yes. Whereas that's, like, the last act here.
Yeah, that's like the last third of the movie. The first 2/3 are just like building up the suspense and building up the panic in the town. And it's, like, fucking great. I mean, I forgot all of it because I was, like, a child, but, like, seeing it again, I was like, oh yeah, this is, like, awesome.
Yeah. It's a really well observed little depiction of the town, I think. All the little characters, you know, and just kind of the routines and everybody getting hyped because it's the 4th of July weekend and all the tourists are going to come. Like, it functions kind of as, like, this little slice of life drama, you know, of small town Americana. And then you have the X factor of the shark. I think it's, like, a good Hitchcock movie in that regard, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they always said was so great about Hitchcock movies is you take out the supernatural element or the crazy person or whatever, and it's still, like, an interesting, like, question, you know? Yeah. Interesting social, psychological dynamic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can call it here.
Yeah, there's not much to say about fucking Jaws. If you haven't seen it already, you're stupid.
Yeah. How has anybody not seen Jaws? It's getting a theatrical run right now. Go see it in theaters.
Yeah, go see it in the damn theater.
You'll hoot and holler and scream and clap and go, yippee! All right. That's it.
That's it.
See ya.